Whirling blade.
Thunderstrike.
Bishop delivery.
Take this. Try this.
You're done.
Welcome to the show.
That's right. Welcome to the show, folks. Thank you for joining us for BattleRekt live from the NGE studios here in Burbank, California. My name is Gex. This is Rainey, and we sure are excited to be along with you guys for this show. Today we have EU 2v2 action. It's going to be a good day. We see some pretty good teams, in our bracket here for the top 8. But just to kind of give you guys a little bit of intro here, in case this is your first time watching BattleRekt, and you, for those returning, have probably heard us talk about this many a times. But for those of you that have not, so basically BattleRekt, what we're trying to do with it is, it's first throughout the month of November, we've been hosting a series of one-off tournaments for 2s and 3s in North America and Europe. And our whole goal here is basically to try and narrow down some format things related to BattleRekt, what we can do for, make things better for the players, for the viewers, all that. So, we want to hear your feedback. We've tried some different formats. We're going to have slightly different format today as well. We'll get into that in just a minute, but we want to hear your guys' feedback. You can give it to us through various different channels, Discord, Reddit, and even Twitter as well. So you can hit our official BattleRekt Twitter @BattleRekt, or our personal Twitters as well. You can yell at us there, give us compliments, or let us know what you're thinking.
There are no compliments.
Yeah, no compliments. Everybody hates us. Yeah. Rainey, what specifically do we have for today?
For today, our format is going to be a best of 3 of 5 all the way up to the finals. And then at the finals, it's going to be a best of 3 of 9. So this is going to provide the players a lot of opportunity to switch up their team composition if they feel that one is not working out for them, or to make sure that they have kind of a comeback method aside from just the battle rights within a single kind of with the round-to-round method that we would normally do. So we're going to do best of 3s all throughout the tournament, but it's going to be first to 5 or first to 3.
Win score 3.
Yes.
Right, I know it gets a little
3,
confusing. Yeah.
And then the finals is going to be win score 5.
That's right. So best of 5s and then best of 9s is another way to think about it too. So, a little bit different than we had for the last tournament, trying some different things. Again, let us know what you're thinking. And if you do want to get yourself involved in some of the BattleRekt tournaments, if you haven't played yet, or you want to give yourself maybe a chance to get casted, if you think you can make it into the top 8, you can go to our website at BattleRekt.com and sign up. You can click the links and it'll take you to the sign up pages and get involved. So anyway, today we will be seeing some prize money on the line as well. These guys are going to be duking it out for a little bit of cash money. First place is going to have is going to be able to take home $200. Second place will have $100, and of course everybody in the top 8 as well gets one of those cool demonic steeds. I'm sure a lot of the guys in our top 8 probably already have one, but
that's true.
Get an extra, give a couple away, whatever, if they're feeling nice.
Lots of demonic steeds out there to have.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see who's going to be winning the 200 today, who's going to make the big bucks. Why don't we go ahead and figure out who we're going to be watching?
That's right. Yeah, let's
see what the competition is looking like.
Yeah, let's take a look at our bracket, see what we have on the slate for us today. As I said, we will be broadcasting the top 8. These guys have been playing throughout the day, and now we are left with these teams. Of course, some very familiar faces up here: Project Horizon, Flower Power, Team Keepo, EasyBT, and a bunch of others. We will be only broadcasting 2 matches from this top 8. First, we'll have Wombo Combo against Burning Sands, and then after that will be Team Keepo EasyBT against X-Black and Jolts, which, oddly enough, good meme here, X-Black and Jolts are not actually X-Black and Jolts.
What?
Yeah, they're trying to fool us. They decided to switch it up, so that it's not actually X-Black and Jolts. We'll have that as our second match for the day, though. But first, Wombo Combo against Burning Sands. We'll be bringing that to you here very shortly. Our rosters, at least for that match, will be Cooley and SVT against Obeluff and Gazag. Obeluff and Gazag, some guys that we've seen before in our BattleRekt tournaments. So good to see them back in the top 8 again. But they're going through their picking phases right now, and we will be headed into game. So, you ready for this? In case you
I'm
didn't
so
notice, there's a distinct lack of beard on the show today. We're missing
Where's
a
the
lot of
beard?
beard. Yeah,
Man.
yeah. Two clean shaven men here.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
sad.
a new experience for BattleRekt viewers.
Yeah,
across
this is
the
the
world.
first. This is the first time for BattleRekt with no beard.
The beard.
All the hair from the beard got put on top of the head now.
Got put here.
Yeah.
It's interesting because the last time I was here, I casted the 3v3. So I actually haven't casted the 2v2s yet, and there's distinct differences, right?
Right.
BattleRekt played on 2v2 is very different than BattleRekt played on 3v3. Different
Absolutely.
things matter more, and one of the things that I'm really looking to see is individual skill and high-level coordination between the two members on the team. It means so much more when you are half of your team's contribution as opposed to a third.
Yeah, we're definitely going to see a good display of individual skill here, and it looks like the teams are ready to go as well, so we can hop into game. We have Cooley and SVT, of course, and Obeluff and Gazag. And, oh, hey, there's us.
It's us and
There's
Twitch.
us. Howdy. We see us twice. Here we go, though.
We're
Heading
not
to
watching
our
us,
first
we're
round.
watching the game.
Yes, we do have a game here. So let's take a look as we head into it right away. We also see the Rook and Taya, which is a crazy comp. I have not seen that yet in twos. Very, very interesting.
Yeah, Rook and Taya seems incredibly aggressive to me. Obviously, they don't have a support on their team, so they're not going to be able to regenerate a lot of health, and Rook is already down to 25%.
So far, Rook has taken quite a bit. Here comes the ultimate out from Ashka. And health advantage very much in favor of Obeluff and Gazak here as Cooley trying to work his way back into the center. And that center orb is up. That Ashka and Lucy certainly much more sustained on the side of Burning Sands in terms of team comp.
Yeah, I think they're doing really well, trying to make sure that they keep their health high, because that's really what's going to win you the game. If you take center orb, keep your max health high, and make sure that you're always healing up and keeping yourself topped off, you can see that they're just grinding out the Rook and the Taya, and down goes Rook.
Man, now stuck in a 1v2. Taya's got no health left in a easy round there for Obeluff and Gazak. We've seen Taya tried to be used a few times now in 2v2, and I just have not seen it really work yet. It hasn't, from the few games that we have seen Taya come out in twos, it just doesn't seem to work all that well.
Yeah, Taya, and I think in some ways Jade as well. Taya, Jade are two interesting picks because I think in 3v3, when you have the backup of the additional teammate, you actually open up a lot of opportunities to use your kit more effectively, whereas in twos, I think you find yourself running a lot. And Taya's great at that, but she doesn't have as many invulnerability frames as you would imagine. She just has quicker movement speed, and especially in this composition with Rook, when you don't have any sustain, pretty much any damage you take is going to stick, right? And so it's just going to be tough for Taya over a long period of time to maintain health levels, and if you can't burst somebody down really quick in the opening moments of the match, you might find yourself in a rough spot.
So it's 1-0 now for Burning Sands. As get into it here, Cooley's gonna charge in, hasn't used his counter yet, finally hitting it, but Obeluff uses that Clarity Potion on him, and now SVT gets panicked away. Who is gonna be able to hit some of these boomerangs? Center orb will be up, easy secure.
I really like the way that the Rook used the Brock to push the orb in a favorable position. SVT's trying to get kind of the sideways boomerang across the wall there. And doing fairly well, but still, and the question is about sustainability. No max health lost on red side at all.
Good stuff from Cooley here, getting onto Obeluff. As was able to dish out some damage. The Obeluff healing up, center or oh, here comes the Ashka ultimate, connects with Cooley, is able to do quite a bit of damage, and he's hurting right now. Ashka just sitting there, left clicking away. Here comes the goo as well, trying to put that Clarity Potion onto Rook to throw him right back into the mix. And Taya, Rook, SVT, and Cooley both pushed back into spawn. They're incredibly hurt. Taya goes down. It's just Cooley, 1 versus 2, and he's got nothing to go up against these two. I think this should be another pretty easy round here for Burning Sands.
Gazog went so big. Once he popped his ultimate, he was just going ham. He was doing damage, he was avoiding attacks. I think he really saved himself a lot of damage. Not that that would have helped, but what that did was allow him to stay out of CC, stop them from needing to play as defensive, and provided them more opportunity to dish out damage. 518 damage in that round, and that's nothing to laugh at, right? Pretty much the entirety of the damage coming out from Burning Sands is from Gazog.
Yeah, he's just sitting there pumping out the damage. A lot of the time, I just saw him sitting back there, left-clicking away onto Cooley. I mean, once his counter was down, he just sat there, kept backing up and hitting his left clicks, and slowly dishing out the damage. And that barrier is going to be down for Obeloff. But
It's going to be about moment of opportunity right now for Cooley and SVT, but it looks like the panic is going to come in at just the right time. Still a little bit max health being lost on Ashka right now, and it looks like they're going to use that opportunity to take the center orb. Slams Ashka into the wall in a good combo. But is it going to be enough to actually make a dent in the health pool of Burning Sands? I don't know if that's the answer.
SVT using the Tornado onto Cooley, hitting a good X Boomerang onto Ashka and just hammering away even more. This is their opportunity now, maybe to get in onto Gazeg and finish him off. He is quite hurt. They got the in-cap onto Lucy, but they got to go and finish off Gazeg over there.
Man, and look at the momentum they've built for themselves. Talk about high damage, and this is really paying off in dividends for Cooley and SVT. This was the connection that they were looking for kind of all game long that they just couldn't find before, but look at how low the health levels on both these characters are. Finishes Ashka off, does SVT, and that's going to be their first game on the board.
Oh, it's finally making it work. SVT's been able to just sit back there and, you know, just throw boomerangs away, hit a couple of good X boomerangs and dealing quite a lot of damage. As you can see, they're top damaging on the round for SVT. So much better from Wombo Combo. It's going to be 2-1 now for Burning Sands.
One of the big things that I really like about Rook is his ability to set up incapacitates, right? His incapacitate is so key. Comboed with a rock throw into a right-click stun is so much damage. Plus, if SVT can line up boomerangs on top of those stuns, you have yourself a good CC chain and incredible amounts of damage. I think any big connection like that for Wombo Combo, I mean, as their team name suggests, will really kind of push their opponent's health down very quickly.
Cooley getting panicked away here. Center Orb's going to be up. Health advantage steadily in favor of Burning Sands. Wombo Combo able to secure the orb, though, as SVT just sitting here pounding away with those boomerangs yet again.
SVT constantly tries to go for these wall boomerangs where he spins the boomerang around the wall, kind of like, God, I don't remember the movie name, but he's just spinning those boomerangs, trying to get that wall shot. Natalia loses a ton of health, which is looking terrible for Wombo Combo.
Oh, so much. Got to get out of there. Ashka ultimate from Gazeg, but unable to connect, having to use Tornado, but he jumps right over the wall and finishes off SVT, so it's just Cooley now, 1 versus 2. The counter is procced, and he's gotten ult. Obeloff uses that goo, though, and he's right in the middle of the ult. He's able to connect twice onto Ashka, but still stuck inside of the goo.
The goo!
The goo, and he gets taken down. Burning Sands is going to grab this first map, 3-1. But luckily for Wombo Combo, they still have an opportunity to get back into the game here.
Yeah, 3-1 is I mean, that looked kind of convincing for Burning Sands.
Yeah.
I'm not going to cut it any other way, right?
Right.
That looked convincing. I mean, when Cooley and SVT were able to take the round, it was off the back of very good execution, right? They landed their damage, they landed their CC that initiated their damage, and it almost didn't matter that Burning Sands had a healer in their composition because it was just too much in too quick a moment of time.
Right.
Burst is really important in BattleRekt because that's the only way you can really push max health down.
Right.
And if you're unable to do enough damage to a composition that has a healer like Lucy, you're actually making not very much headway despite the fact that you're spending health to try to make an opening happen.
Right, and guys, we also have a replay for you. Let's go ahead and take a look. It is from round 2.
It's going to be a Wombo Combo destroying a set of ultimates here. Goo thrown down onto the floor, pushes the 2 teammates of Wombo Combo back into the choke point, and Ashka just does really well, just finishing everything off. And this was really off the back of Ashka's first ult as well. You can just see him very well dodging Rook's charges, just making sure that he's keeping uptime, doing a lot of damage, and providing zero opportunity for Wombo Combo to make any counterattack happen.
Yeah, they've certainly been having some trouble here so far with this combo, the Taya Rook. I mean, we'll see. This is their moment if they want to switch something up. This is why it's nice to have this best of 3 maps, because now if Cooley and SVT decide they want to change something up, the Taya Rook just wasn't working as well as they wanted to, they have the opportunity to make those champ switches now. So we'll see if they do. They're heading into game at the moment. I'm not sure if they have switched off. We'll see. It looks like they have not switched.
Sticking to their guns.
Yeah, man, they are just sticking to it. I mean, we'll see. They're confident in it. They can certainly do it with this combo. We saw them take a round. Well, like you were saying, it just takes near perfect execution. But it's certainly doable for them. We'll have to see if it works out, though. Same comps across the board, though. Obolef and Gazeg staying on Lucy Ashka as well.
Yeah, I think that Wombo Combo has a chance. The big problem is that they kind of need to make a good, I don't really want to say guess, but maybe that's the best way to put it. They have to make a good opening happen, and they have to gain momentum that way. Once they get one of their opponents on Burning Sands low, I think they can ride that momentum out and make a victory happen pretty easily. But the problem is finding that initiating moment, and Ashka gets put into a bad spot, already loses half his health, and will disengage out of it. But Ashka actually jumps forth, and that might be because he really wants to control center orb, and he does.
That's a great stun there, able to secure the orb, and Cooley charging in. Gazeg able to dodge it with his spacebar, and barrier's gonna go down onto Gazeg as well. Keep him protected a little longer. Center orb is coming back up yet again. Cooley in for it.
Oh my goodness.
Gets snaked. Oh, here comes the Ashka ultimate as well. Connects with Cooley, who is really hurt at the moment. Needs to get some sort of healing. SVT is able to pump out a bit of damage, doing some to Obolef there. Ooh, Cooley able to dodge that stun just barely with the iframe as well, but he is hanging on by the skin of his teeth. 1 health, literally. They really need to get the orb here. They are able to do so, but the goo comes out and finishes off Cooley. It's just SVT 1 versus 2. Now has used Tornado as well, so there is no more sustain left. He knows it's done.
Yep. If there's anything that's going to hurt you even more, it's allowing Burning Sands to take the orbs from you. Because not only are they healing up, but even that big connection on Ashka they had at the start was undone because Ashka was able to secure 2 orbs back to back. And that aggressive jump from Gazag back to the center in front of the Rook was such a big payoff for Gazag because he was able to put his AoE under the orb, bypass Rook's big hitbox, and snatch it from Wombo Combo's feet.
It's 1-0 now in map 2 for Burning Sands. They took the first map 3-1. 2 more rounds and they will book a spot in the semifinals. Cooley already has taken a decent bit of damage here. Panicked away as SVT as Cooley just hammers away at Ashka.
Oh, this might be a big opportunity. Cooley is going to miss his charge onto the Ashka, but tries to lay on damage, and I really think Cooley whiffed a lot of important abilities there. Gets another counter, is going to be able to jump through Taya's Tornado, but I really think that Cooley missed a big opportunity there. There he lands a good charge, but he still has to get through Lucy now. When it was a 1v1 and it mattered the most, I think, that's a big combo.
Good burst, got the end cap, and then through the boulder on top of him, able to secure center orb as well, and doing a good job of using that iframe to dodge the deadly inject damage as SVT just sitting over here pounding away with those boomerangs, able to get even more onto Gazag. Barriers used by Obolef as well as Cooley gets himself back in there to apply the pressure. Here comes the Ashka ultimate. Great tornado from Taya, able to dodge that damage, but Rook couldn't. Cooley goes down. It's a 1 versus 2 as Taya's got to come up big here. Certainly possible, but it's going to be really tough with Obolef still on the field here to keep that sustain up.
Man, SVT was trying real hard, trying to throw those boomerangs past the wall and do damage onto Gazak, but in the end, I really think the situation that Wombo Combo got themselves into was actually pretty good for the majority of the game. They were able to isolate at 1v1, and that's kind of the situation that you want. Rook, in many ways, is a fantastic duelist. Right, when you're going up 1v1, Rook can really take control of the match, and just his strong cooldowns will get you far. Problem being is if you whiff a lot of them, you're actually kind of dead in the water for a long time, especially if your counter is down. There's not really much you can do if you don't have the space built up against the Ashka to continue maintaining pressure, or if the Ashka kites you out.
They were very much in that round and had a good opportunity to take it, but that ultimate from Gazeg really helped turn the tides. It essentially finished off Cooley. They didn't really have much of a chance. Berserk is procced. Nice. The end cap into the wall. Good combos coming out from Cooley. SVT's getting run at by Obluff over here.
I like their strategy that they're going into this, but I think the follow-up plan for them is not really what they need. I think SVT should have connected with Cooley onto Ashka once Cooley had hit the in cap. SVT is going to land a lot of damage, but gets panicked up and gets a ton of damage put onto him. And again, we find ourselves in this situation where, oh man, that's a big boomerang to hit.
And is hitting a couple of those X-Boomerangs now. Cooley getting panicked away. The health on the side of Wombo Combo not looking too good there.
Cooley uses the right button smash to avoid the damage for the deadly injection, and that might be key. Ashka's going to have to use mobility, but Lucy is in trouble. There's a big combo. Armor break is put onto Lucy. Ashka ult comes out, and man, Cooley is forced away by the panic, and it was a big gamble for Wombo Combo, and they could have closed it out, but just a little bit more. They're going to have to push a little bit more. Taya does go down, and Cooley is not long either for this world.
That's a big steal in the center orb. If he can get Obluff, if he's able to do that, is able to shove him out of that, pick up these little green Skittles here too. I mean, it's still a really tough task. Able to dodge the stun as well with the iframe.
He has no counter. He needs to watch out. He needs to back up. If he's going to want any chance of winning this, he needs to take center orb, and he needs to make sure he's going in when he has cooldowns. Good connection. No! But the Lucy perfectly times the left button to take it. Big stun. Watch out, Lucy. The barrier is up, and so invulnerability is going to have to hold Cooley over. He's going for it.
No!
No!
Sad.
No!
So sad.
It was not the right choice. Bait and switch.
Absolutely.
Thought you caught the Lucy, but the Lucy tumbled away and watched you run to your own doom.
Oh, those somersaults, man. That's so close. Almost a big comeback for Cooley there. But Burning Sands taking map 2, 3-0. Wombo Combo, man, they definitely had themselves in some rounds there. Like they were in it. They had some opportunities. It's just the right plays coming through at the right time from Burning Sands, and they're gonna move themselves into the semis.
Yeah, I want to believe that Rook Taya combo can work. I think it's so unforgiving is the best way to put it. It's very unforgiving where Lucy and Ashka can kite very well and heal up a lot of the damage that they take. Rick and Taya just can't. Let's take a look at a replay of Ashka using his ult, and Gazag has been coming up big in this series here. So often gets that ult onto Cooley. Boom. Left click, deadly injection. You are a goner. See ya.
Later, nerd. I mean, that was really what changed the tide in that round, because they were really in it, but that ult connecting with Cooley and then the deadly inject to finish it, that secured the round for them really. Before that happened, I thought they were actually going to take it.
I really liked Cooley and SVT were able to isolate both the players and take 1v1s. I think the big thing is once you see Rook hit that in cap, if you've zoned the Lucy away, you threaten, right? You position your Taya in such a way that you threaten the Lucy from coming in. If the Lucy comes in, you have a target on Lucy. If the Lucy doesn't come in, you have the incapacitated Ashka that you can do the rock throw and stun combo on. And then if SVT comes in and throws boomerangs as well and gets some kind of extra damage on, then you're pushing max health. And that's really the opening that you want. But instead, they continued fighting off their 1v1s, and the advantages that they gained for themselves slowly petered away.
Well, that is going to be Burning Sands moving into the semifinals. Let's take a look at our bracket and see what we have coming up. As you can see, they've got themselves moved forward into the bracket. Our second quarterfinal that we will be bringing to you today is Team Keepo, Easy BT, and X Black and Jolts, which is not actually X Black and Jolts, as I said before. It's Hot Biscuit and Woozak, actually. They're trying to pull a quick one on us, these guys here, but
we're keen on that.
yeah, we know your tricks. Don't try and pull this.
We knew.
Yeah, we're better than that. We know, but
Don't underestimate us.
yeah, we're smart guys over here. But so they'll be going up against Randler and Xanox as well on Team Keepo Easy BT. But guys, head on over to our Twitter @BattleRekt. You can go there, give us feedback on everything you're seeing today in terms of tournament format, or whether you like our casting, whether you like the distinct lack of beard on the show, or you want beard back. Let us know. You can hit us up on Twitter. So,
I think the beard is a valuable part of the show.
I agree.
It's unfortunate that he can't be here.
I know. It's sad.
I'm
Really
sure
sad.
he would have been very excited for the Rook running into his own doom.
Yeah, oh man, he would have been screaming up a storm, I'm sure, as he normally does. But
That's just how he talks normally. But
yeah, he's just a loud guy.
Yeah.
He talks and it sounds like
never
yelling.
bring him to a library.
Yeah, you guys are
Cannot
gonna
abide by the rules.
Yeah, you guys are gonna get kicked out if you take him to a library. I guarantee it. Well, we are heading into game now, folks. It is Team Keepo Easy BT against, quote X Black and Jolts.
But it's actually Hot Biscuit.
Yeah, Hot Biscuit.
Hot Biscuit is godlike. I really like Hot Biscuit on Ashka. I think he's one of the best out there.
Yeah.
And I think he really shows it in the 3v3 format. But 2v2 is a different game. Let's see if he can continue that streak of dominance against Randler and Xanox playing a Freya, which is something not commonly seen.
A lot of good combo potential here on this with the Ashka and Croak.
Oh, he does actually land the ink cap and lands a big combo on Lucy. And now it's just going to be 1v1s. And Lucy is in trouble, but meanwhile, Hot Biscuit is being pressured out by Xanox. Good use of cooldowns is going to allow Freya a ton of damage. Who's going to get center or panicked up? Oh!
My goodness, what a steal! That panic onto Woozak, and then Xanox with the right click, able to secure the orb. That was massive.
That was a movie moment. I was seeing that hammer fly in slow motion. Man!
Whoa, that thing came, dude, that was sick. That was a nice steal, and Xanox working the fray as well. Another champ you don't see all that often in twos.
Oh, the flippy into the stun. Wow, Xanox is really making a big case for himself. I think Xanox is going big right now.
He's just taking it to Hot Biscuit, man, and Randler's been, he's been absolutely fine dealing with Woozak.
Oh!
Here comes the goo. Woozak was inside of the seat.
Get good. Oh!
Get the panic away. Hot Biscuit getting taken out. Xanox
Nice.
and Randler taking the first round.
He tried to channel the ult and took the purple flash to the face.
That's right.
To the face. Randler gets MVP for that, but to me, Xanox will be the MVP in my heart. Because, damn!
Yeah, man, he was seriously just bodying Hot Biscuit there. Like, he was not having any issues.
That's one of the things with Freya, right, is very cooldown dependent. And your cooldowns are fairly short cooldown, but it's very easily, you can be very patient against Freya, right? If you find yourself getting pressured and you get pushed out of your own cooldowns, then Freya becomes very scary to deal with, and Xanox did well to set himself up a situation where he could just bully Hot Biscuit out. Has to spend a lot of cooldowns to avoid Hot Biscuit's damage right there, but it looks like Lucy's support is going to be good enough to keep Freya topped off. And again, dodging a key attack from Croak. He's going to Clarity the Petrify, and Xanox is going to be given a lot of uptime here. I really think the combo between the two, wow, that exploding panic blast. Man, Croak is not having a good day.
They are just playing, like, perfect use of barrier, perfect use of counters, like, everything. This is just so well played so far. Hitting the end cap onto Lucy, the stun as well, but Woozak is incredibly hurt here. Really needs to hit some of that toxic. Jumps out of the ultimate. Hot Biscuit using his own ultimate that connects with Randler. Center orb is up, and they are able to secure on the side of Hot Biscuit Woozak, but they are at a pretty big health disadvantage at the moment.
Xanox so mad, just throws the hammer into the wall. It was spot on. If there wasn't a wall there, Hot Biscuit would have taken the hammer to the face, but
Those darn walls.
Darn walls. Oh, a big jump, and I think that X-Black and Jolts did end up taking that center orb. Tries to counter out the incapacitate, but lands it anyways. Pops the R, but misses a follow-up stun. And zap, you're done. Xanox again with the Freya. Why don't people play this champion?
I don't know, man. It's apparently can be really good in twos. You know, we don't see it too often.
Lots of
twos,
mini
but man.
iframes, lots of mobility, a counter that vortexes opponents in if they hit it. There's a lot of great tools on Freya. It's just, it's tough to use, especially if you can make a conscious decision to just leave Freya in CC. But in this 2v2 situation, if Randler is cutting out really well, then all of a sudden your only target to face is Xanox. And especially in these situations, we see Xanox get himself the opportunity to go 1v1 toe-to-toes to some of these guys, and it gets really complicated to match a Freya in that scenario.
It's 2-0 now for Team Keepo EasyBT in our first map in this best of 3. There is so much good combo potential with a Croak and Ashka. You know, if he can hit that stun or the in-cap Croak and then the stun out from Hot Biscuit as well, you can do some serious damage, but they haven't really been able to connect with that combo all that much here.
Gets a little bit there, but Randler is going to roll out of that situation. Needs to heal up some max health. Barrier does come up, and that's going to provide the opportunity for Randler to pick himself up. But, oh wow, uses that center orb to extend his Deceit duration, making sure to proc the stun part of that 2-hit combo. And tries to make an opening happen, but in the end, Team Keepo EasyBT is going to be the one to control the center orb.
Ooh, stun hit on Xanox, and the goo out as well. Another stun onto Randler here. And Hot Biscuit, Wuzak starting to get themselves into this one. Here comes the Ashka ultimate, connects with both of them. I think Randler got his barrier up just in time, but still definitely going to connect on some damage there. Just about dead even on health, though.
Wow, that Clarity Potion removed the stealth from the Deceit and disabled Croak's ability to really follow up on that EX bar usage.
And the barrier is going to be used by Randler.
Ooh, whiff. No returns.
Swing
and now Xanox is going to go ham on Croak. There's no cooldowns that Croak can use to match Freya's mobility. Right there, there's the Deceit getting popped again. Will actually, nice use of that Clarity Potion, will again remove the stealth from Croak, and so he can't follow up his combo. It's just such a tough life for X-Black and Jolts right now.
Goo's gonna come out, Ashka ultimate as well, connects with Randler, and he's gonna go down. Almost a good combo there. Xanox able to iframe out of the stun from Hot Biscuit. It's a 1v2. He's really gotta, oh no, couldn't hit his counter. That's
Just
gonna be
when
crucial.
it seemed like they were pushed out of all their cooldowns, a big Ashka ult comes through and is able to finish off Randler. One of the things, I mean, look at Randler's score. Just take a look at that. 1034, 644 protection. The only thing is, timing is so important in BattleRekt. It doesn't matter how well you've kept up your defense. If you drop the ball one time and you're not filling yourself up, a lot of people look at this game in terms of max health, right? Because they always assume, well, at some point they're going to pick themselves up. Randler was not able to do so fast enough, had a little less health than he would have liked, and got finished off by Hot Biscuit.
So it's 2-1 now. Team Keepo EasyBT is in the lead here still in our first map in the best of 3. Right away, Wuzak putting a lot of pressure onto Randler. Hot Biscuit just sitting in the back there, left clicking away, and Randler has already been knocked down to about half health.
Man, what a tough situation for Wuzak. Has to spend a lot of EX bar and get nothing for it, and Wuzak is getting pushed really, really low. Gets the in-cap on Freya, the stun on top, and here comes the big ult combo. But still, that's just a drop in the bucket compared to how much damage Hot Biscuit and Wuzak need to do to get back into this game.
Oh, the goo comes out as well. Hot Biscuit's going to get the Petrify onto Xanox. Clarity Potion brings him out of that Petrify, but here comes the stun, doing a lot of good damage onto Randler.
Now, we saw this situation before. Randler needs to make sure to pick himself up. The center orb goes to X-Black and Jolts, and that might buy them a way to win this next round here.
Oh my
the
goodness!
goo!
The hammer from Xanox was able to push Wuzak right into the goo and finish him off. Hot Biscuit getting the Petrify off, but he's got a lot of work to do here to try and bring this round back.
We've seen some fantastic clutch from Hot Biscuit before, but I don't know if that's going to be possible in this situation. Center orb does go to Team Keepo EasyBT. And Hot Biscuit, here comes the ultimate. There's #1. Barry gets popped for it. Lucy is going to stop further damage. No, hits into the counter.
That's a big counter. Pulls him right out of his firewall.
Oh,
and there
the goo. Killing
is the
blow
goo.
on the goo is 2 for 2 in this round for Randler. Man.
Oh, that was close. I thought Hot Biscuit and Wuzak were totally in that round. Yet again, it was tight. But that hammer from Xanox that tossed Wuzak into the goo. He went into the seat and just tossed that hammer. He had static on him, I believe, and just like threw him right into it. And just that was big. Push him right into that ultimate. It was crazy. But
that's nice.
Yeah.
Randler, Xanox. I mean, that's what's sick about 2v2, right? It's just individual execution and the intense coordination between the teammates. That's what we really want to see. Wombo Combo.
That's right, the Wombo
Fantastic.
Combo.
Let's take a look at that moment again. Freya
Absolutely.
using the hammer, and we talked about it. Freya's not a super popular pickup for many teams, but I mean, I feel like Xanox showed us exactly what Freya can do, especially with good coordination between the Lucy. Here it comes. Take a look.
Right into the goo. That's crazy, man. Oh, he went into the seat, and Xanox just popping that right click. It's like, take that, son. Tossed him right into the goo. That was
those hammers.
I know,
Were
man.
sick.
That was.
Xanox's hammers. One of the best things that Freya has in her toolkit is the hammers. It's a ranged initiation. It's very safe. You throw it from a long distance away, as well as if you hit the incapacitate, it allows the opportunity to gap close and then have your cooldowns like your jumps that increase mobility to further close the gap if your opponent spends cooldowns themselves.
Right, you get a lot of good iframes on Freya as well. You're able to avoid a lot of damage and ultimates, you know, what have you. A lot of good use you can get out of those iframes. But we are heading into the second map now. It's going to be Team Keepo Easy BT up 1-0 in the best of 3, and it looks like we will have no comp changes from either side.
Sticking to the guns, I like it. The Rook Taya stuck to their guns, and they ended up getting dunked for it, but that's okay, because that means they believe, and I believe as well.
I believe, man, this Kurok and Ashka combo can do some serious damage. And
oh, he knows!
Look
he
at
knows!
That. Man, using the iframe to avoid the stun as well. Xanox is really showing how it's done on Freya here so far.
Oh, nice clarity potion.
Ridiculous stuff. And now barrier's gonna be used onto Randler. Wuzak is just getting run at right now. And Petrify is gonna be out.
Here comes the combo, and Croak is going to land a little bit, as well as Hot Biscuit. It's going to reduce the health level of Lucy just a little. Nice, the clarity potion is just a little bit off, and here comes the big combo
we like to see. There we go, getting that stun into the Ashka ultimate as well, doing quite a bit of damage to Randler. Now Wuzak wants to follow up, gets panicked away though, and he'll take quite a bit of damage himself from Randler.
Oh,
here comes the cap, another great combo. This is what we've been waiting for. These are the combos we've been wanting to see from this Kurok and Ashka team composition, and they're finally able to finish off Randler, so now is a 1-2.
Wait, hold on!
Xanox
might make it happen. Wuzak needs to get out of here right now. Spends the counter, but I think Xanox can't push it. Does not have the cooldowns, but that was really, really close. If Xanox could have connected on Wuzak just for a little bit longer, and I think it still might happen. I mean, Freya is a tricky target to knock down.
Freya's a good champ to try and clutch on, man. I mean, she's got so much mobility, but she's got to go big here. Taking so much damage, and no, couldn't quite seal the deal. Definitely had the opportunity to do so.
I like the play from Wuzak. Went into stealth and just sat back. Knew that Xanox could not take the risk of not. I mean, Xanox could not gamble, right? Had to assume that Croak was coming at her, because if the Croak lands the stun, you're dead, right? And so you have to use your cooldowns to make sure that if the Croak does approach, that you'll knock him away. But Wuzak was just patient, let Freya use all the cooldowns, and then Hot Biscuit and Wuzak went in when they knew it was safe. But let's talk about those missed clarity potions, because that's really what happens if you let Croak land the stuns, and Hot Biscuit connected as well, winning X-Black Jolts, Team X-Black Jolts, the win in that round.
And now have themselves a 1-0 lead in map 2. We're finally starting to see these good combinations with the stun and you know, the deceit from Croak, and then Hot Biscuit getting his stun off as well as AoE stun. That's what we like to see.
Man, middle orb control goes over to X-Black and Jolts, and a lot of damage has actually been done in kind of the neutral game. It's going to push the max health of Team Keepo EasyBT down quite low, and it's just one connection, really. Honestly, it's one connection. Hot Biscuit has his ultimate, and oh no, and here it comes! They try to crisscross, do the applesauce, but I think Lucy's getting really low, needs to find an opportunity to heal herself up, and it's going to be really important to secure the center orb for Team Keepo EasyBT in this next moment. Actually, for both teams, but wait, you don't have the opportunity. Barrier is going to get spent to mitigate some damage, and it looks like positioning for blue team is just a little bit better, and I think now the bad spot is for X-Black and Jolts. How is Hot Biscuit going to kite away? Here comes Freya, closing it out.
He's got nothing left, and it'll be Woozak trying to go 1v2 now. It's actually possible for him if he can finish off Xanox here, and maybe a good opportunity to do so. Going in, gets the in-cap, getting the stun off as well. Barrier used. The ult is available for Randler, though, hitting the panic, and it should come out any moment. There it is, as he's in the seat. Was trying to go for the orb. Had a good opportunity, couldn't quite seal the deal, and we're tied at 1-1 in our second map.
Man, so many good things coming from Hot Biscuit and Woozak, but again, sustainability, right?
Yeah.
Everything is very risky because any damage that Randler and Xanox do is just about permanent, sans controlling center orb for X-Black and Jolts. That's going to be the only way that they can have any kind of sustainability in this match. But Hot Biscuit and Woozak lost out.
And they are definitely playing a lot better, Hot Biscuit and Woozak,
Yes.
in this second map here, but still can't seem to quite get it fully. There's that combo, though, we like to see. But combo team's just kind of posturing a little bit. Here comes
Good
that
incapacitate,
in-cap.
no shield.
Oh, that barrier went down just in time for the damage to come in. Petrify is going to land on the Woozak. He gets taken out of it. Randler's in a bit of trouble, though.
Nice. I like Woozak taking center orb. Going to lock EasyBT out of the opportunity to gain back some max health. And Randler's already at half. And we talk about how much damage that Wombo Combo does between Croak and Ashka. Randler is at risk of getting popped right now. The barrier is up. He needs to land a clarity, and it actually gets wasted. Nice jump from Xanox. Actually saves Randler because Woozak could not get the follow-up stun. But now Freya's the one in trouble, and here comes the ultimate. We'll secure the center orb.
But I think the barrier came onto Xanox from Randler just as the ult came through and mitigated a lot of that damage. Xanox still low, but Woozak is quite hurt himself. Needs to keep dodging this damage. Oh, in-cap onto Hot Biscuit as well. Gets panicked, so much CC on him, getting stuns off onto Randler as well. But here comes the goo. Woozak able to avoid it with a jump, narrowly missing that goo and the damage that it's bringing.
God!
It's so close, but Ashka goes down, and Woozak long after him.
How tragic is that?
Oh, that
How
is
tragic is that? They lost it, man. They were playing so well, but when it came time to close the door, lock it up, put it away, I think Hot Biscuit dropped the cake on the floor. Right?
Oh, man.
You go to the kitchen, you bake yourself up a nice cake, you make it look all pretty, and as you're about to serve it to the guests, you trip, you fall, the cake is on the floor, your face
all over the place. Lands on the small child.
Yeah, just absolute chaos. Terrible sad situation.
It's sad. I mean, they're so close.
Healers are pretty good. What can you say?
Healers are good, yeah. Healers are good. I mean, these double DPS comps can work, man. It's just, I don't know, just small little things, and it always comes like right at the end of the round.
Nice use of the barrier for Randler is going to mitigate all the damage that Freya took in that scenario. And man, X-Black and Jolts are going to have to go back to the drawing board. Nice stun, baits out the Clarity Potion and turns right back around to Lucy. And, I think Red Team actually secured that. That actually kind of stinks. But EasyBT taking a big loss kind of in the first moments. We've seen this time and time again, though. It's all about the long game for them.
It absolutely is. Here comes Xanox trying to pound out some damage onto Woozak, who is taking it right now. Randler also, though. Taking quite a bit of damage here as Woozak and Hot Biscuit landing their combination. Hot Biscuit using his ult isn't going to do any damage, though. The barrier came out onto Freya as now they're getting themselves into a little bit of trouble. Hot Biscuit in particular, as Woozak, meanwhile, is just in the thick of things, trying to deal out that damage, but there's so much burst onto Woozak right now. He's got to get himself out of there, as Xanox trying to hunt him down. He's finished off. It's just 1 versus 2 now. Hot Biscuit's got to go huge, and I am not suspecting. I don't know.
Wait.
Maybe actually I've spoken a little too soon. Able to avoid the goo as well. He's got to finish off. Xanox takes him down. Now it's 1 versus 2. Putting up that firewall as well, but he really needs that help up top.
Is the Hot Biscuit dream coming true?
I certainly hope so, man.
Hot Biscuit, the dream is true. 1v2.
He uses Purifier, trying to get a little bit of health
He's
back.
getting a lot of health. Oh, no!
Getting the
No. Their health is
ultimate.
even. And Hot Biscuit has so much butter right now. He is about to dunky dunk Randler.
Oh, he's putting that firewall up, barriers down for Randler as well. All he's got left, he hits the panic, is able to hit some deadly inject too. He's got to avoid it, does so with the iframe, using Purifier yet again to try and get some health back. That deadly inject though is just gonna pound damage on Hot Biscuit. He's got to find a way to sustain stuff. Huge panic from Randler. No, he had it.
Hot Biscuit, no.
Man, he's so, again, I believed in the dream.
Oh my God. I wanted it to be true so badly. I got myself so invested in that.
I know. I was emotionally invested in that. Now I'm sad. Man, it was so disappointing. Hot Biscuit unable to clutch.
Oh my God, 2 big key mistakes for them in that particular round. Hot Biscuit, actually, Woozak landed a fantastic incapacitate onto Randler, the Lucy. Hot Biscuit put the stun just a little bit off. I mean, the incapacitate is a stationary target.
Right.
He's not moving.
Like, how do you miss that? You know, the stun.
It's just, there's a lot of pressure. I mean, I can understand why, but it's one of those things where you know that was one of the big moments that you had to capitalize on.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at a replay from the last game. It's going to be a Freya counter coming in clutch. And Freya has shown to be a really effective pick for EasyBT today in the 2s tournament. Look at how low health Freya has. There's a counter. And gets the shield off of it as well. And that's really going to change things up. I really think EasyBT demonstrating good synergy for Freya and Lucy.
Yeah, one of the first times we've seen it in the BattleRekt tournaments, at least. I honestly think that combo in particular, Freya-Lucy, is maybe only the 2nd time we have seen that in BattleRekt, at least so far, and it's great to see it work. You know, not a combination we see often. It's always good to see new things. Teams testing out new things, trying them out, and seeing it work too is absolutely great. So they will move on, Team Keepo EasyBT, into the semifinals as well. So, you know, we got the semifinals all booked up now. Guys, if you want to get yourselves involved in BattleRekt, if you're liking what you see here and want to compete yourselves, maybe have a shot at having us cast you can go to BattleRekt.com, sign up for our tournaments. We do have NA 2v2 later today.
Yes.
You know, that'll be coming up, so more good old 2v2 action on the board. You know, it's gonna be some good stuff. I'm excited.
Yeah, we've watched some very interesting games so far. Both the double DPS comps are out. It's so tragic. It's easy because the way to think about it is that the healer comps are looking for a less explosive gameplay, right? They're looking really to just play and make good decisions across a long period of time and eventually win out the situation at the end across a 3-minute game as opposed to a 2-minute game or a minute and a half, right?
Yeah.
But when you get things like Croak plus DPS, you're really looking to lock people down and just blow them out.
Well, so we do have a bracket to show you guys. We do have that coming up. So we have 3 of our semifinals all set in stone here. Still waiting on the result of God Matter and Project Horizon.
God Mater?
God Mater. Yeah, I guess Matter would have be spelled a little differently. I went to school. I was college.
Really?
Yeah, I was educated, apparently.
What were you educated in?
It was apparently communications, and I feel like, you know, English is supposed to be like the strong suit for me. Not the case, though. Apparently. So, yeah, you got Flower Power and someone else. I was too busy being awful at English. I didn't even see the second team. It's Flower Power and someone
Burning
else
Sands.
coming out. Burning Sands. Yeah, that's right. We watched
Burning
them play.
Sands.
Yeah, they'll be playing first in the semifinals, and then after that will be Team Keepo Easy BT against, either God Mater or Project Horizon. I would suspect Project Horizon just because they're monsters.
2-1-3.
2-1-3
What's really
blanks.
interesting to me is that 2-1-3 had Hot Biscuit on his team in 3v3s.
Oh, yeah.
I would have liked to see Hot Biscuit fight.
Oh, that would have been so good.
Because it would be 2-3 at, I think Blanks is the Lucy.
Yep.
Blanks is a sick Lucy player. And
Yes.
I think that, maybe it's me being a hipster, but when I watched the threes team play, everybody was going crazy about 2-3.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
in my eyes, it was about the Lucy. It
That-
was about Hot Biscuit. And it was about them combined. I mean, don't get me wrong, 2-1-3 was sick, but it was a culmination of everybody on that team. I mean, Blanks was doing really well using clarity potions, hitting the barriers when he needs to, getting time, getting spacing really right, and controlling the pace of the game. And Hot Biscuit, I mean,
Yeah, well, he's a beast.
he was coming in big in that tournament.
Yeah, and one of the things too with Blanks, I mean, he's just so good at surviving, which is hard to do on Lucy. But guys, we will be just going to take a short little break here, about 5 minutes or so. We'll be back. We have some semifinal games coming up for you. Don't go anywhere. Stay right here with us at BattleRekt. We'll see you in just a few. All right, welcome back, everybody. This is BattleRekt here, and we're just about to get into our semifinal games here for the EU 2v2s. My name is Gex. This is Rainy, and we are certainly glad to be here with you guys. As I said, we're about to get into our semifinal games. Should be some good matches coming up. Some very notable teams that we've seen before. So I'm excited to get into it.
Yeah, I think 2v2s is a very interesting format. So far, we've seen some very close rounds, but not necessarily close matches, right?
Yeah.
We've seen 2 2-0s, and it's going to be Burning Sands.
Yeah.
Burning
yeah.
Sands. Burning Sands, and we spectated only 2 of the round of 8, so we
Right.
only got to see Burning Sands move on, as well as Team EasyPT playing with Freya.
Yeah.
Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the other teams competing.
Yeah,
See
we
who
got
else moved on.
we got a bracket thing. We can show you who's going to be playing. So first, we'll have Flower Power against Burning Sands, and after that, it will be Project Horizon going up against Team Keepo EasyBT. Just as Rainy was saying, of course, I'm quite excited for that second match there. Project Horizon and Team Keepo EasyBT got a lot of talent packed into that match for sure. So that'll be a good one to watch. But up first, as we said, Burning Sands against Flower Power. I almost forgot the name for a sec, but they're getting in right now. They just picked their maps, and they're gonna be picking their champs now. But as we were saying before, guys, we do this from time to time. We broadcast these games. We have these tournaments for BattleRekt. So if you wanna tune back in with us, you can check out that broadcast schedule there. We'll be here later today for the NA 2v2 tournament as well, so you can certainly join us then at 8 p.m. Pacific for that. We'll be back. So also these top 4 teams, they're playing for a little bit of cash, money here.
In
right?
the money rounds.
That's right. We're
Playing
getting
for
close. But first place are gonna be able to take home $200. Second place will get $100, and of course everybody in the top 8 also gets the demonic steed. But that cash is what these teams are going for. We're down to our final 4. Winner of these matches is going to go to the finals, and they're going to have a shot at the money. So.
Yeah, I think so far the space has been dominated by the likes of Project Horizon as well as Teldo and Verosk.
Yep.
And I'm kind of hoping to see a different team take the reins and make the win happen. It's tough. I think Rukan and Lucy as Gazag and Obelbluff are running is actually a really strong composition, which is kind of what 213, 213, and Blanks run.
Yep. That's the composition that they have really perfected in the scene. 213 and Blanks, but
Nice.
we'll be seeing Gazag and Obelbluff trying their hand at it. And of course, on the side of Flower Power, you have Winghaven playing that the Jumong, as he does from time to time, and Sizen is going to be playing Uldor. So 2 of the other pretty strong champs in the meta at the moment. Right now, Gazag trying to work his way back into the middle, and he'll be just slashing away, and here comes the ultimate. Oh man, he was trying to predict where he was coming out on that. Gazag is he's taking quite a bit of damage here. Really needs those heals. A lot of his max health has been taken down.
Yeah, he did. He hit the black arrow on 2 different targets, and that provided him a lot of good healing plus the Uldor. And look at how low they've got Gazag down. He pops his ultimate, so he's going to have a little bit of a drain, and that Toxic Goo is doing a whole lot of nothing for Burning Sands.
That's right indeed, a whole lot of nothing as Gazag goes down. He couldn't keep the sustain up. Obelbluff is now stuck in a 1v2.
Was that a 720?
I think it was.
How many rotations was that?
The old spinorama from Winghaven.
I almost think it was 3. I think it was a 1080.
That was wild.
1080. One of the things I love about Jumong Uldor is that they just have so much space control, right?
Yeah.
You want to fight them in range? No. Uldor has Time Bender. Uldor has the bubbly bubble, the reflect hit you in the face bubble, and Jumong himself is just fantastic. The fact that his left click allows him to play spacing so effectively is key in winning out ranged duels. And I think that it really showed against Burning Sands. I mean, Not in the sense of range dueling, but just kiting away and causing Rukon to have a very tough time getting in or losing a lot of health doing so. And I think Winghaven might be in a bad spot now. He needs to have his immaterial back up soon, and he's going to spend it. But right at that moment, I think Gazag made the very smart choice of backing away.
Center Orb is going to be up. Teams just trying to out-mind game each other to secure it.
Nice.
Gazag is able to do so with the right click. Obolef's got full stick of butter in hand. Gazag will soon be up on it. Actually, now they both have it. Got the ultimates, so see when they decide to use them, as Gazag taking quite a bit of damage here. Needs those heals, gets in capped, a lot of damage coming out here, and the ultimate from Winghaven and Obolef, and Obolef got petrified in the middle of that.
Oh, ooh, so close. Nearly lost the center orb. Good use of Black Arrow from Winghaven to get out.
Oh, that's a big ultimate from Winghaven. Gazag had no barrier up.
Room is looking a little nicer after Winghaven put up the poster of Gazag on the wall.
Oh,
damn!
Man, he did, man. He absolutely posterized him.
My God, he just took the hammer to the nail.
Yeah, fat dunk on him, just taking him straight to Pound Town there. And that is gonna be 2-0 for
The old
Flower
Pound
Power.
Town.
Taking on Pound Town, baby. That was a
Only
big
here
ult.
at BattleRekt will you find directions to Pound Town. Gazag was shown the way.
Welcome to Pound Town. Enjoy your stay. But it's 2-0 for Flower Power. Burning Sands, I mean, they got a strong comp. Recon Lucy is very popular at the moment, but I just don't see much damage out of him. Winghaven's been taking it to him. Sizen himself is just pumping out the damage right now. I mean, he's almost on par with Winghaven last round.
Uldor is nothing to laugh at. Uldor goes ham.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that guy, Sands of Time will just
His
eat
head is
away at
on
you.
weird. You don't want to mess with him.
Yeah, he's just a weird guy in general, man.
I know. What's
Mr.
with
Llama, man.
It's all the
the hell
time
he is.
traveling.
Here we go.
Ugh, not sure about that R. That's a lot of bar down the drain.
Yeah.
And in terms of zoning, I think Gazag was already intending on getting away.
Well, Gazag's already got his ultimate up, and Obolef almost there as well. Gets the silence, pulls him back in, gets Seeker's Mark on him. Those gotta be careful. He actually takes the big ult there from Winghaven. And Gazag's got his ult here. Once again, he's gonna use it, getting chunked down though, and stopped right in his tracks in the middle of the ult. Here comes the goo as well. Man, Gazag is just getting crushed at the moment. Sizen though is taking a whole lot of damage from this goo. And
That goo panic flash combo was so strong, and Sizen was going ham on Gazag, doing a ton of damage, but Obolef answers back incredibly strong.
ultimate trying to come in here. Barrier just in time from Obolef. That's big barrier really waited it out. Sizen's looking juicy over here.
Uh-oh. Watch out, Gazag. Don't go in too far, because Obolef is actually a long ways away and might not be able to get a heal. Here comes a big connection, maybe. Clarity potion just at the right time. Obolef is trying as hard as he can, but both teammates getting a little bit low. Center orb is going to be key. If Red wins this, they buy themselves another opportunity, and they do. This might be the chance. Obolef is full on butter.
Oh, no, the incap.
There it
Here
is.
comes he's able to get Winghaven, and a lot of it. Sizen is very hurt, so is Winghaven. They have an opportunity here. Obolef himself is hurt.
Oh,
three
no.
players. Barrier just in time onto Obolef, and now Gazag's in a bit of trouble here as well. Gets rooted, really needs those heals, but no, he's going to get finished off the ultimate.
Oh, he nearly made himself another poster.
Oh my goodness, he's got a room full of them. Obolef's got to go big. I don't think he's going to be able to do it. He's gonna be just about perfect, and Sizen's got an ultimate here as well. He can just use that and get the stun.
Yeah,
he's
there's
probably
no
not
way
even
pushing
gonna
into
need
this
it.
spot is gonna get him killed.
He doesn't even need it. Look at that, man. Winghaven, Sizen.
3-0.
Man, that was another one. Gazag, Obolef, I thought they had that round, man.
Damn!
Look at that
Jumong score.
Woo! Oh, that damage was just, that was juicy.
That Jumong. I mean, Jumong is a fantastic choice, right? You can't go wrong. You look at Jumong and you see that he's got the bow, he's got the hops. How do you beat that?
It's true. I mean,
He hops around, he does damage, and every time he shoots the black arrow, you take It starts out at 8. You get a bleed that I think does another 6. And so it goes to 14, and then you can get a BattleRekt that increases the damage by 6. So, like, just for shooting them in the face with your black arrow while you're dodging, you're doing 20+ damage.
Yeah, he's crazy. I mean, even though he did get, slightly nerfed in one of the more recent patches, he's still just so good. You know, he's a great pick pretty much in all situations. So, you know, they'll be able to ride Jumong there, and he'll help secure the first map. But keep in mind, these are best of 3s, so there's still an opportunity to come back for Burning Sands to get back in there. They certainly can do it. And, you know, switching in between these maps is great because it gives teams an opportunity to counterpick. You know, if something wasn't working, they can switch it up and try something a little bit different.
Something that was interesting to me about Jumong is before, when he first came out, one of the reasons why he was super strong was his EX abilities did a lot of damage, specifically his R, his Rain of Arrows. But I think it's turned into, people have realized that actually using left-click Black Arrow does just about equivalent, especially after the nerf. Arrows got changed to 40 damage to 35, right? Now, if you animation cancel your left-click into Black Arrow, you're doing, at full BattleRekts, you're doing 16 from your left click and then 20 from your Black Arrow. You're already doing more damage than your R for no cost, right? And then you have, if you're at 3 weapon charges, you have the ability to Black Arrow again, and that's much quicker as well. There's not as much opportunity for a player to run out of the AoE of the arrows, for example. Yeah. One of the things about Jumong before was he would connect with shift left click, the Seeker's Arrow, plus the R, the Rain of Arrows, and do a ton of damage there. But now Jumong is much more about spacing, kiting away, and still getting a ton of reward for landing Black Arrows. He's
a great pick, and look at the change-up coming out from Gazag and Obeloff here. They've got the Shifu now, and Obeloff will try and sit back there and sustain.
Nice.
If he can, it's going to go back in onto Oldor, needs to get some heals, uses barrier, and he'll pull himself in the middle.
Root.
It's a big root indeed. Gazag hitting his counter though as he tries to get in onto Winghaven a little bit. He's taking quite a bit of damage so far. Gonna go right back in onto Winghaven, gets the end cap as well, and will receive the barrier from Obeloff. And he's just hammering away, hitting his counter yet again. That's good Shifu play so far from Gazag as he's just running him and goes immaterial to avoid the end cap just in time as well.
Oh, he nearly threaded the needle, but now 2 full sticks of butter for Burning Sands, and they might be looking to spend right now. Chop, chop, chop might be coming up really soon, and here comes the toxic goo. Shifu on the mount, trying to gain a better position here. Uses the EX bullet, so he's not going to have the spin, and going to spend the incapacitate as well, trying to set up on the Jumong. Rain of Arrows was not well positioned, trying to zone the Shifu away. I like the way that Winghaven is using that. He's placing it on top of himself during CC, so if Shifu wants to push in, he's going to have to take 35 damage to do so.
Just about dead even on health here, going immaterial just in time to avoid it yet again, gets the end cap. He's going to have an opportunity to maybe finish off. Winghaven gets petrified just in time by Sizen, and he's looking to finish the kill here, but Gazag's got to be careful, taking quite a bit of damage. It's time to heal up, and Sizen's going to be put into a 1 versus 2. They're dead even on health,
let him
though.
Get the orb. Nice. Shifu has a lot of burst damage, and Uldur cannot match unless he throws his ground AoE.
And barrier's going to be used on Gazag. It is doable from Sizen. He's got to hit those E's, though. And here comes the goo as well. Now he's definitely done. He's got nothing else to get away from it. And there we go. Gazag and Obeloff getting their first round of this series.
Obeloff had a great idea, and that was to dunk Sizen in goo.
Yeah.
Take him out.
It's a good idea. Waited till his movement abilities were down and threw it out.
One of the things I think was great from Winghaven was placing the Rain of Arrows around himself when he got CC'd, but I think it was not as well executed as he would have liked. I think he could have better spent that bar on something else unless he was sure that he could get damage off of that or zone Shifu away. As it stood, though, Shifu was still able to set up or get a lot of damage on Winghaven and avoid the damage of the Rain of Arrows. And so I think Winghaven's going to need to rethink positioning that EX ability or rethink strategy entirely.
Well, he's got the end cap off on a Winghaven as they try and focus down Sizen a little bit, but Gazag's really taking a lot of damage. So is here, just missing. That ultimate was Winghaven, and the barrier is going to be used. on Obolov, and he is just so hurt at the moment. So is Gazak. They're just getting completely dunked at the moment, able to hit his counter, but gets Seeker's mark on himself. Barrier just in time, but
both are so low. Lucy needs to
Yeah.
spend heals on one or the other. Oh no! The snare. That could have been death. Had to spend the immaterial for it, but now would be a great time to use the R on one side and then close off the other side, but I don't think Winghaven was looking for it. Could have zoned them out, kept them in the corner and taken them out with the older old, but
oh, there's no chance.
yeah, center orb control. I mean, look at that. Health full, basically, for Winghaven and Sizen, and health at pretty much nothing for Burning Sands.
Ultimate, I believe that connected.
Wow, yeah.
He had the
Got it.
barrier on himself, though. Was able to avoid the damage, but man, there it is. It's going to be another round right back for Flower Power. They tied up at 1-1, and man, they got crushed.
One of the
that round.
things that I think Winghaven did really well in that game was the instant he saw Shifu diving onto Sizen, and he knew that, well, Winghaven knew that Sizen, with the combination of Flower Power as a team in general, pushed out a lot of cooldowns from Shifu, knew that Sizen was safe. He noticed that Obolov actually spent cooldowns to try to help Gaza get onto Sizen, and so Winghaven used double black arrow to jump over to Lucy and start putting pressure on her, and that created that situation where they were in kind of a double threat scenario.
Just could not avoid the damage, man. And here we go. Gazak trying to get onto Winghaven right away. He's got Seeker's mark on him. Going immaterial. Got that rain of arrows down to try and keep Gazak off his tail, but he is still hot on it, dishing quite a bit of damage and hitting his counter as well, getting good sustain, good support from Obolov. In the process, that orb's going to be up. He's able to secure it. Already has his ultimate. Does Gazak. So just waiting for the right time for it. Obolov has got his as well. So they got 2 full sticks of butter ready to go. But when will they use it is the question. That immaterial's down, and he waited for the perfect time till that immaterial was out. Has got a lot of damage on the Winghaven. Petrified just in time by Sizen, hitting his counter as well. Goes immaterial yet again, but gets in-capped. Here comes the goo as well.
Wow.
Shifu getting taken down. Obolov now stuck in a 1v2.
Sizen coming up so big, and the positioning from Winghaven was absolutely perfect. The Petrify from Sizen set up a situation where they could make a counter kill happen while Winghaven was hopping around. And that's one of the things about Jumong, is that you can run and do so much damage at the same time.
Oh, later.
Oh, man. And there's definitely no scope on that bow, so he just got 720 no scope wrecked.
Absolutely. MLG pro skill. I mean, that was just, I'm sorry I've said anything. That was awful. Never let me talk again. But that was, they had such a good opportunity there, Burning Sands, man. That was,
It's tough.
All right, Gazak just got caught in, I think, going a bit deep, didn't back off in time, and, you know, caught in. There are also good plays coming out from Flower Power. I mean, able to punish him. But it's 2-1. They got match point now.
Cannot go too aggressive. You need to make sure that you're winning the small battles as well, because the situation can turn around so quickly against older Jumong. Came really close to making a kill happen. Nice, just backs away.
Now trying to get back in, hits his counter. Gazak
Big damage.
able to secure the orb as well. Just a bit of separation now. Just some slow play. Not all that much going on. Barrier is going to be used on Gazak as he goes in, hits his counter yet again.
Flower Power is separated though, and Jumong is going to spend the immaterial and actually gets very isolated because of that Fear Orb, and now Sizen is going to have to run his way across the map in between the 2 players on Burning Sands. Burning Sands will take the center orb for it, and they actually have a ton of meter. There's the immaterial being spent.
Yeah, doing so much damage on a Winghaven as well, and he's gonna spear right back in, try and see maybe if he can finish off Winghaven as he uses the material, hits the counter though. He's getting right back in. Onto him, Obolov's got goo as well. He's gonna throw him right in using that EX. Oh my goodness, that
Get back in here.
EX hook, bringing him straight in to the goo. That was perfectly played.
Nice, good CC chain as well. Make sure they get the center orb, and now play the patient waiting game.
And the ultimate from Sizen, trying to get that stun counter, not gonna get procced, and Sizen,
Yeah.
he's just gonna let it happen.
Yep.
He's gonna take it, he knows, but that's gonna tie it back up for Burning Sands. It's 2-2 in map 2.
isolated, held position, controlled center, and then spent bar and focused targets. Winghaven was a target of choice, had to take a full choppy chop from Shifu, and then got smacked by the goo, pulled back in. Nice use of the hook from Gazag. And that's what Burning Sands needs to do. Play very controlled, play positioning. Do not forsake that, because Shifu, or rather Jumong, Uldur will punish you if you're caught out.
They've done a good job of... Gazag's been doing a good job of using his little chop at the right times on Winghaven. Wait until that material's down. And now is a very, very crucial round in this match. It's either win or go home for
Flower
Burning
Power
Sands.
takes the first center orb, and that is a good step in the direction of eliminating Burning Sands.
Yeah, they've gotten a lot of max health taken away thus far on the side of Burning Sands as well. Counter is going to be hit as now he's getting in. Ooh, going in material just in time to avoid that ultimate. And he's actually able to get an end cap on Winghaven and just trying to secure the center orb, get some of that max health back, and they're dead even on health yet again.
This could be the turnaround. A lot of bar being able to be spent, and Uldur gets snared up by the goo, and there he's going to spend the Uldur ult, gets a stun onto the Shifu, but Shifu's going to counter immediately and still has the immaterial, which I think he's going to want to spend soon. No, actually goes for the end cap.
Having some time to get in onto Winghaven here, dishing out quite a bit of damage, and Winghaven is in dire straits back there as that center orb is up yet again, but Gazai getting pounded away at by the sands of time, picking up some health orbs, and he wants to finish off Winghaven here if he can. Just rushing him, hitting another great counter. And he will try and get back in. Here comes the ultimate as well, dealing so much damage to Sizing, gets petrified towards the end of the ultimate, but still not looking all that good for Flower Power. Still very much in the round though, Sizing.
Jumong has a lot of bar built up and is going to actually spend, I think that was EX Prowl, is going to give him a little bit of health and do a tiny bit of damage, and they're going to actually win the center orb. And this game is so back and forth, it could actually go either way. Butter on Jumong and Lucy. Meanwhile, Uldur is about to have his own, but Shifu is a long way away. And I think if, depending on how Sizer decides...
Oh, here comes the Winghaven caught right in the middle of it, goes down. It's Obalov and Gazag left to face down this Uldur 2v1. It's almost an impossible task.
Fantastic use of CC is going to allow Burning Sands the opportunity to take this game home. One of the things that I think really hurts for Flower Power is Uldur's ultimate is very hard to make effective in this 2v2 situation. I mean, you do bait out a lot of cooldowns, but then you lose. If you spend your ultimate, you don't have your Petrify, for example, right? Just as one of the big tools that you lose just because you spent that using an ultimate that doesn't really connect. And even if it does, I mean, Obaluf has been really great about throwing Clarity Potions out at the right time. So even if you do get hit by the stun, it gets removed immediately.
Yeah.
Right? Because there is a tell. You can see where that stun is coming up. You can either attempt to dodge, or you can just throw a Clarity Potion where you see the AoE coming from, and the instant that stun hits, you Clarity it. And so it's really tough for Uldur to spend bar on his ultimate, which means that he needs to make consistent use of his EX abilities. The fact that Sizen had a full stick of butter there probably meant that something was going wrong. Need to spend that resource. Just plan to not use your ultimate unless there's a very edge case. I think it's just tough to justify, because even if you do save up, you lost all that opportunity to use that EX bar the whole time you were saving, and then you need to make a situation possible where you spend your ultimate. I just think it's not a great idea.
Yeah, he does have some great EX abilities, but we do have a replay from that last game. Let's go ahead and take a look at it from round 3. Shifu with that big EX hook.
Shifu goes fishing, and
oh, get back here.
Yeah.
That is so good.
No way to get out of that scenario. Shifu is, and this was really Obaluf and Gazag playing really good positioning, right? You just see that scenario where Jumong has to rush to get back to his teammate. Meanwhile, Lucy is hidden well behind the wall, right? Can support her Shifu and not be in threat of Uldur throwing any CC out. If Uldur wants to go in and CC, Uldur's going to have to spend mobility cooldowns to do so, and that's not a very good proposition, because then what if they turn on Uldur, right? And so I just think that Burning Sands played it out the last few rounds of that match really well.
Yeah, absolutely, and they're able to tie this matchup now at 1 map apiece, and they will go into a third and final map to decide who moves on to the grand finals of the EU BattleRekt 2v2. So, it's all going to come down to one last best-of-5 map to decide it. So it's going to be a good game. Rainy, what's Rainy? What are you thinking? What are you thinking for this game, man?
What am I thinking?
Who do you think's going to take it?
It's tough because they've gone one-on-one. I think that there's something that Gazag and Obolov have been holding on to in the last map that has been really good for them in terms of just playing out the cooldowns really well, playing smartly. I think that Gazag was going a little too aggressively in the first map, and that earned them the loss. On the other hand, I actually think on paper, like if I was to be a theory crafting hero, I would actually think that Jumongoldur is stronger in this situation. But that all comes down to executing things mechanically well, right? This is with the assumption that the Jumon can avoid skill shots from Shifu, right, to avoid that gap close. This is assuming that Jumon can trade out the cooldowns effectively and hold good positioning so he doesn't get 2v1'd. I think those are going to be the two key things. Now, if I were to make a prediction, I'm going to go ahead and say Flower Power is going to take it.
Same Flower Power.
Because I think that they are playing the safer composition, and they are less at risk of making a big mistake and losing control of the game. Whereas I think Gazag and Obolov have to prove that they can continue performing at this high level and winning out these exchanges, and the onus is on them to really make the plays happen.
Yeah, I feel like for Burning Sands, they have to play extremely well in a round in order to get the round. Like they just got to play out of their minds, and so far, doing so much damage to Obolov, Winghaven, and Sizen have combined to chunk Obolov down quite a bit. The center orb is up here. Gazag able to secure that.
A fairly even opening. There were big wins for Flower Power, but big answers from Burning Sands, and Obolov was taking a lot of damage, but because of that center orb is actually looking fairly okay. Gazag himself is not too low either. Really the big thing to look at is the meter that has been built, and it's very in favor of Burning Sands right now.
Gazag's gonna go back in.
Oh, and again, they win the center orb.
Yep, and they got 2 ultimates. Gazag and Obolov both ready to go. They have them, and here comes the goo. He's gonna get it out there. Winghaven stuck right in the middle of it. Gazag getting himself in, trying to wait till Winghaven doesn't have that space anymore. If he can land this spear and get himself back in onto Winghaven, he could ult, but he is gonna have his spacebar back up again here very shortly.
Yes.
He's also got...
there's still the immaterial. Gazag needs to find some other method.
Oh, there it is, Sizen, though. That's a good use of his ultimate to get his teammate out of danger. Obolov is in dire straits here now as well. They've turned the tide back in their favor. Flower Power.
Need to win the center orb. Shifu's going to stab it, and 3 of 3 center orbs go to Burning Sands, and that's really hurting them. I mean, they could have closed the game out by now if they have been winning the center orbs.
Absolutely. And now Gazag and Obolov definitely at quite the health disadvantage here. Obolov's got the goo.
Situation very in favor of Flower Power right now, positioning-wise. There is a spear, but Winghaven still has a double spacebar to get out of that scenario. And now does spend the immaterial, but Shifu finds himself in a scenario where he doesn't actually have bar to punish.
And Gazag quite hurt at the moment.
Again, center orb is going to be key. Yeah, I really think the only thing holding Burning Sands in this game is the fact that they've been healing max health.
Ooh, that's a big steal. They needed that so badly if they have any chance of winning this round. Counters out, not going to get procced as Gazag continuing to hammer away at Winghaven, but Obolov in a lot of trouble here, just dodging that root, able to roll away from it. The bear trap getting petrified, though, is Shifu, and Lucy finally finished off, now using his ultimate. But Winghaven going immaterial. That counter is not going to get procced either. He's got to hit this orb. Oh no, but the big right click lands, and that is going to be first round in our third and final map, going to Flower Power.
I really think that demonstrated exactly my point about Winghaven Sizen have the ability to play safe, right? They are the safer composition in this scenario, much like how we were seeing DPS healer versus DPS. The DPS healer is the one that's playing the safe comp, right? They don't have to make the moves Gazag and Obolov came really, really close. One of the things that I think hurt them was Gazag was holding onto his ultimate really long. He really wanted to make sure the immaterial was down as well, and I think that was just a little bit too much. I think at that point, spend your EX bar on something else, or just use your ultimate to bait out the immaterial and deal with the aftermath. And I don't think it's the right answer to putting yourself in the scenario where you don't want to use any of your resources.
Now Gazag trying to get in. He hasn't been hitting many of these counters. Flower Power doing a good job not to bite on the line. And now Center Orb is going to be coming up here as, let's see, it's going to be a secure, I believe. Winghaven was able to grab that, but now just getting in capped was Oldor, and Gazag just trying to hunt down Winghaven. Not biting on that counter yet again, going immaterial though, and Winghaven himself going immaterial, gets that in cap off. Obolov taking quite a bit of damage in the process. Sizen's able to use that ultimate to get Winghaven out of danger. Barrier's gonna have to go down onto Obolov, and Obolov's a bit separated.
Winghaven played really well in that 2v1 situation and was actually really bringing it to both Obolov and Gazag. Missed the trap. It could have done a lot of damage to Lucy as a result of it, but actually lost that opportunity. First counter that's actually going to be hit, I feel, this map, and Incapacity is to answer. Winghaven is still being put under a lot of pressure, and the center orb is still a question mark right now.
Oh, here comes the He's able to connect, hitting both of them. With the ultimate, though, Jumon goes down and big right click out from Gazag. And now it is Sizen in a 1v2. Health is almost even. Sizen down about 10% or so. And Gazag just trying to secure that center orb as Sizen really trying to hunt down Lucy if he can get that damage off. He hits the counter of Shifu though. He's gonna be in quite a bit of trouble. Here comes the ult, able to finish off Oldor, and now we're tied at 1-1.
Gazag and Obolov saw a lot more success. A big counter landed, providing a lot of uptime for Gazag. One of the things is that gap closing is so important for Shifu. If you hit your counter, that's basically a free opportunity to get up on your opponent and still have spears, still have immaterial to push your opponent and close out that distance. Winghaven, I think, made a very big risk at the start of the match trying to control center orb, but missed a lot of his shots, did not trade a lot of damage very well, and ended up being at the health deficit even after grabbing the orb. They had a big comeback with Uldor ult, and that's kind of the benefit of gaining that extra resource. They had the Uldor ult that landed on Lucy, but Uldor was nowhere to assist, and Winghaven missed the trap as the follow-up, and so these factors combined meant that slowly Winghaven was actually losing out. Despite the fact that he actually did really well in the 2v1, it was just too little too late.
And it looks like there's a little bit of deliberation on the side of Gazag and Obolov there, trying to see what battle rates they wanted to pick, but
he's going full Black Arrow. Winghaven is going full Black Arrow. He's got the max 20 damage on the spacebar. And really wants to use left-click spacebar to be pushing out a lot of damage in a short amount of time.
This is our third and final map here, folks. Winner goes on to the grand finals. And right away, that counter is going to be hit for Shifu as he's trying to pound away yet again on Winghaven, which he's been doing well thus far in this game, getting right back in. Ooh, counter's up. They're not going to hit it, though. He's got to be careful not to take too much damage here. Going to collect up some of these Skittles. And we'll hop on the mountain and collect up a few more as well. But Obolov has taken quite a bit of damage here as coming back in, goes in material just in time, still hammering away at Winghaven. Doing a good job, goes out already, he's gonna be caught right in the middle of it, but good job of avoiding the ultimate. Sizen using his ult to get Winghaven out, and then he spacebar away to avoid the damage himself, so not much value found there for Gazag.
They're split up right now, and Sizen's going to use mobility to get to the same spot as Winghaven. Good job not hitting the counter, and that's going to put Shifu in a very awkward spot. Here comes the ultimate, gets pinned to the wall. One left click, two left clicks to answer for that, and the center orb gets taken by Burning Sands again, and again another counter avoided, and that's actually working really well in favor of Flower Power because they're able to pile on so much damage in the meantime. I mean, Shifu lost maybe more than half his health in that time frame that his counter was down.
He's having a rough time trying to hit him here, and Winghaven's just been wrecking him with damage.
Gotta watch the counter, and misses a big Black Arrow.
Counter used yet again, and then he connects with the right click on the Gazag. Well played. He's going to come back in. Big ult. The barrier came in, but I think the damage still connected. Here comes the ult combination as Shifu coming through, hits his counter as he's trying to finish off Sizen if he can. This is a good opportunity, for them if they're able to do so. But
Watch out,
Obeloff,
Lucy.
both are so hurt. Obeloff's got nothing left other
He's
than
trying
heals.
to press with Black Arrow.
He's got to keep those heals up and keep the jukes up, and the good CC to keep Winghaven out of the fight as well. Need to absolutely get
Oh,
the center
no!
orb, unable to do so. Lucy goes down now. It's,
The one that mattered the most.
Oh, man.
Burning Sands had been winning center orbs all round long, and then Shifu went and tried to make that trade, and that happened to be the one he lost, and Lucy got dunked for it.
oh man, he needed that so badly. But that'll be Flower Power going up 2-1. It's match point.
Uh-oh, is the prediction gonna be right?
It's could be, man. I don't know. Burning Sands still, they're totally in it. I believe. I want to see a fifth and final round, but still, I don't know, man. It's tough. Winghaven's really been pumping out the damage so far in this game. I mean, top damage last round. And of course, Sizen's been doing a great job of accompanying him, just keeping that Sands of time up, landing those E's, and, you know, doing a lot of good damage with that combination. And here we go, first center orb will be up. Burning Sands been doing a good job for most of the game controlling these orbs.
Nice. I like that strategy. Winghaven preemptively placed the rain of arrows down, shifted Shifu out of position, and then also charged the charge shot to make sure to burst that orb down. And this is looking really bad for Burning Sands. Not only has Winghaven and Sizen maintained the position advantage, but they have the meter advantage as well as the health advantage. Everything is going right for them. I mean, look at that. They're all full on bar. Obeloff and Gazag have nothing in terms of meter.
Yeah, they really don't. And Winghaven, Sizen both have those ults ready to go. They're already at a bit of a health disadvantage here. They need to be careful. Oh man, this Sands of Time is going to connect, and the ultimate from Winghaven is going to land on Obeloff. They are in a lot of trouble right now, Burning Sands. Gotta even up the score here a bit, and they are getting that damage out, and here comes the goo as well. A lot of damage is going to connect on the Winghaven. He is taking so much at the moment, finally using his spacebar to avoid as much as he can, but Shifu wants to hunt him down. He's using that EX Spear to pull Winghaven right back in. And Gazag wants to finish it off. Good Petrify on Aldor as well, so he can't get those heals. Sizen's going to have to use his ultimate on Winghaven to get his teammate out of danger. And orb will be secured by Sizen and Winghaven, I believe. But
yes,
here is Gazag. He's got his full ultimate up here as well. Just waiting for those. Oh, look at that.
No.
Counter hit. That could be deadly. Here comes the ultimate out. He's able to finish off Winghaven. That's a great use of the ult. He is petrified by Sizen, but he's got to go huge, Sizen, if he wants to finish this off, and I don't have the confidence.
Yeah, hitting that counter was a nail in the coffin for Winghaven. Winghaven got caught out, put into the toxic goo, where neither did Winghaven have Immaterial or Black Arrow, nor did Sizen have Uldora Ultimate to bail him out of jail. And he took all the damage in that moment, really. I think that Winghaven needs to make sure that he's always playing controlled. If he goes in for an aggressive push and spends cooldowns like his Immaterial or his Black Arrow in a scenario where he's not trading with Obeloff and Gazag, he really needs to make sure he doesn't get himself in that spot where he gets caught out, or that Sizen has the resources to bail him out. That's really what it comes down to, right? Resource management and just making sure you're keeping focus in this game and knowing what you have at your disposal. And that's how you're going to close it out.
So much damage coming out from Winghaven. Obeloff doing actually more damage than his Shifu teammate on that last round. But here we are. This is our fifth and final round, map 3. Winner of this round goes on to the grand finals, getting the in-cap onto Sizen, and he wants a piece of Winghaven. Gets smacked in the face by the Lantern, though. Oh, unable to secure the orb, but here we go. Is just about. Ooh, Gazag trying to wrap around. Here comes the goo already. And Obeloff taking a lot of damage here. He's got to be careful. Getting caught inside of the bear trap as well. Trying to hit the counter, not able to. Center orb is up.
Oh my god. And I'm pretty sure Burning Sands just stole that from under them.
Yeah, I believe they did. Which is a much needed orb. Gets the end cap onto Winghaven. Oh, hits his counter too. Great job to hit his counter. Able to dish quite a bit of damage onto Winghaven. And Obluff just trying to keep that sustain. And here's the ultimate. Obluff's got to be careful. Oh,
yep.
man. Big roll to dodge that just in time. And counter's going to come out. Not able to hit it. Hitting his spear onto Sizen, though. Able to avoid the right-click damage. Gets the in-cap now. He wants... Oh, no.
Watch out for the Toxic Goo. Actually does land the Panic Blast. And Burning Sands is going to take that opportunity to reorient themselves and maybe try to get a center orb.
Oh, Sizen able to secure that orb for his team. That was big. And they are at a health disadvantage, Burning Sands. Not massive, but they definitely are at a health disadvantage. And Obluff continuing to take damage, which is only adding on to that.
Oh, no. Resources are being spent by Burning Sands, but they're not getting much for it. Oh, and he actually whips a big ultimate, so no resource left for Winghaven.
Winghaven getting pinned back into this corner. Here comes the goo as well. That's a great goo, though. Sizen had his ultimate. Able to pull him out of it. Here comes Shifu ultimate, trying to dish that damage.
It was a trap, Lucy, run!
That's a big trap, and there goes Obluff down. It's just Gazag in a 1v2. Oh, no. This is bad news bears.
Baited and outsmarted. Jumong made it look like he was having no choice but to back into the corner, but all along Sizen had his all along Sizen had in his pocket the ultimate ready to go. You think I have my back to the corner? You guys have your backs to the corner. Let's see what you do with this. And Lucy had to run from the burning, or well, I don't know, the dark shadow of gloom.
Yeah,
and that provided easy targets for Sizen to just slowly click away.
The elite score from Obluff.
1-3-3-7.
Look at that. What a meme.
He got dunked.
But either way, he gets the elite score, but does not get the win in the end. Great bait and switch there.
What a great ending to that game.
I know.
I think that strategy, I wonder if it was on the spot thinking or what that was, but
was that planned?
Sizen. Yeah. Backing themselves in the corner. They knew that the map was closing in on them, and then right at the key moment, use the old door ult, and then all of a sudden, Shifu and Lucy are looking like idiots because they're just sitting there with nothing to do, sitting on their hands, and then gets stunned, the damage gets put on, and fantastic,
crushed.
Really great.
Man, that was such a good combination. But either way, we have a replay coming up for you guys. Let's go ahead and take a look at it from our last game.
Let's look at this moment again. Jumong backing into the corner, even uses his black arrow. And you can see 2 full sticks of butter for Gazag, and there's the Toxic Goo coming out. And right when that map gets to the point where Jumong is, all of a sudden he vanishes, stuns the Lucy. Lucy is going to use the Clarity Potion on the stun, but gets rooted up by the old door. And see how quickly that map catches up to Lucy. And now Lucy has to walk forward because cannot get ticked, and that provides easy opportunity for Sizen to just close it out. There's no space to juke. You can't dodge. Sorry, you got baited.
That was such a good play. Like I said, I don't know if that was planned, but holy cow, that was so sweet to see.
Calculated.
Good, yes, calculated, absolutely. Good use of the old door ultimate for sure. Able to help secure the round, and they have booked themselves a spot in the semifinals. So let's go ahead and take a look at the bracket. They booked themselves a spot in the finals. Excuse me. Flower Power is going to be in there, and as you can see, coming up for our second semifinal, it will be Project Horizon against Team Keepo Easy BT. A lot of talent coming out there, so I'm certainly excited for that match, and we'll be starting here in just a minute. Should be a good one. Yeah, that's right, baby. Warm them up.
I'm ready. Xanox, are you gonna run Freya again?
I hope so.
Are you gonna run Freya again?
I'm trying to see how he does against. I'm only assuming 2-on-3 is going to be playing the Rukon. I'm guessing, the 2-on-3 and blanks combo.
Right.
Yeah, or Bako as well. That's a possibility. He's great at both.
I think Rukon is a little more popular these days.
Yeah.
But I think Bako definitely. I would say Bako is a more aggressive choice. There's more CC. There's more opportunities to put out damage. But Rukon by far is the more stable choice. You're going to have a lot of options to control the pace of the match, whereas Bako is really meaning to get in and open up opportunities to do damage.
Yeah, so I mean, I believe he will probably play Rukon, but we'll have to see. Well, they're getting themselves readied up and picking their champs right now. So you know, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. This is the semifinals. Winner of it goes on to play Burning Sands in the grand finals, or not Burning Sands.
If you guys have any thoughts about who's going to move on to the finals to join Flower Power, make sure you tweet at us at BattleRekt. And if there's anything else you want to say, I'm ugly. Anthony's ugly. We missed
We're
the
both
beard.
ugly.
We're both ugly together.
Yeah.
And we make the show a much more disturbing place for being on camera.
And if you would like the beard back, which I'm sure chat is just full of,
Yes.
or Twitter,
Beard.
you know, let us know. I'm sure
Both beer and beard.
I'm sure you want the beard back, but either way, all right, let's go ahead, take a look at this match. We'll go ahead in game and see. It's going to be Project Horizon Team Keepo, Easy BT, and we have the comps that we suspected. Xanox staying on the Freya. I like it.
All right. 2-1-3, 2-1-3 is indeed on the Rukon. Actually starts out big and putting the snare on Freya prevents Freya from closing gap against Blanks. Good incapacitate onto the wall.
It's just going to be a brawl here.
Oh no.
A lot of Lucy on both sides. It's going to be a lot of sustain. Center orb is up. 2-1-3. Oh, able to secure it. Well done. Xanox now trying to get in onto Blanks. And 2-1-3 doing the big flick around. Now,
Blanks is doing so well. I mean, look how good, what a good job Blanks is doing at keeping health topped off. Actually gets the Panic Blast countered, and that might be bad.
and getting panicked away. Xanox is taking quite a bit of damage here. And now the health advantage certainly in favor of Project Horizon. At the moment, pulling Randler back in, has to use that barrier to make sure he keeps his health up. And 2-1-3 is near max health right now.
Yeah.
It's just insane.
Both Blanks and 2-1-3 are playing really well off of each other's cooldowns. When the Panic Flash was countered by Xanox, 2-1-3 came in and made sure that Xanox had a hard time landing connection onto Blanks, and that overall kept their health points high. Xanox is actually going to win that next center orb, and here comes a big ult.
Big ult in the goo combo as well. Blank's going to be stuck in the middle of a 2-on-3, getting the big EX pull. And to keep Blanks out of danger. So that's so far the bro moment of the day, I would say.
Yes, definitely good use of the EX pool. Almost necessary. I mean, Blanks was going to get caught up on. The big kill opportunity only lies in Blanks, and so that's the big priority target. 2-1-3 is not in trouble of actually getting taken out right now. It's not even close.
Oh my goodness, there's so much. I mean, the aim from this guy is unreal. Just switching targets left and right and hitting all of them.
Oh
the flick over to Randler as well. He's unreal. Gets petrified as they're trying to hone in onto Blanks a bit if they can, because that's really, he's just been able to keep 2-1-3 sustained so well in this match thus far. And now we are heading into sudden death. Xanox so hurt, gets finished off, and it's just Randler 1v2 should be ended here rather shortly.
Yeah. Talk about controlling the pace of the match. The Rukon was able to put on a lot of pressure onto Lucy, and one of the things is between his Consume, between his Grip, and his Shadow Bolt, he was able to play spacing and also eliminate the or at least play a mind game with Lucy's Panic Flasks that I think Freya did not do as successfully. Freya has a lot of tools to control that situation as well, but I think 2-1-3 definitely came out on top, ended up putting out a lot more damage onto Randler than Xanox did to Blanks, and then from there snowballed into Xanox losing a lot of health while Rukon was able to just stay afloat, really, really healthy, just slowly by attrition won out that match.
Blanks does such a great job at avoiding damage, really managing, you know, the barrier and the clarity potion as well as the panic. And of course 2-1-3 does a good job of coming to help support Blanks when he needs it. It's just so good at staying alive, which is a tough thing to do on Lucy. And he just keeps the sustain onto 2-1-3 while he's in the middle just pumping damage.
Yeah, wow, another grip, and that's what we're talking about, controlling the spacing. Gets a curse, but it's dispelled immediately, and oh man, and they win the center orb as well. Everything is going in Project Horizon's favor. And we can see, wow, he uses the speed boost on the mount to try to get those health orbs, but it's too little too late. Another silence landing onto Randler, and 2-1-3 is still putting on a ton of damage.
Now Xanox is able to deal some damage right back there, but Blank's keeping that sustain up. Here comes the ultimate and the goo as well. The double ult gets petrified right in the middle of it though. Unable to do too much there. Landing a nice right click onto Randler. But center orb will be up. 2-1-3 doing a good job of securing that. And the health advantage definitely in favor of Project Horizon at the moment, but still it's overcomable for Team Keepo.
Randler's still taking a lot of damage, and I just think
Big all the deadly inject as well, getting choked down his Blanks. A huge EX pull in from 2-1-3, but still, that's a lot of damage onto Blanks. The Freya ultimate into Randler, just pumping deadly inject.
There's still pressure. Blanks is desperately healing, and there's not going to be a lot of heal flasks left in the pocket. Blanks just has one now, but I think Freya got pushed away by that panic flash. The movement speed buff actually hurt Freya in that situation, ran away much faster than normal, and another panic flash lands. Freya really needs to make sure to counter those. Tries to get that range damage on. There's no EX pull for a 2-1-3, 2-1-3. Now only just getting it.
Oh man, getting petrified. And this is still doable for 2-1-3. They're dead even on health. If he can secure this orb.
Oh. Charged Shadow Bolt does, I think, 30 damage.
He's
30 or 28, one of the two. But definitely more than 26.
He's able to... Oh no, he's getting pounded away. It's going to be really tough. And wasting his consume there as well. Now, that's going to be kaput for him. Man, they just... I mean, chunked away on that damage onto Blanks. Yeah. That was just disgusting.
It happened so fast.
I know. What was it? The ultimate?
The Freya ult came in, and then Deadly Injection was put onto the Lucy. And I think that there wasn't even actually CC on Blanks. I think just for a moment, Blanks thought he was in the clear after that Freya ultimate and just stood and tried to heal up. But then all of a sudden got dunked by a ton of follow-up damage, and health got chunked down so low. The EX pool was the only thing that was able to top Randler off. Actually, if that EX pool hadn't come in, I think a single extra hit would have actually cleaned Randler's clock, but allowed him to stay alive for another good 20, 30 seconds.
Well, we're tied up 1-1. This is our first map in the best of 3. And now 2-1-3 getting in as he normally does, pulling in Xanox, hitting the silence as well. Counter not going to be procced from Xanox, and center orb will be coming up here in just a second. Good job of pulling in Randler there. Panic was hit as well, and barrier is going to have to be used as 2-1-3 just keeping up this pressure, but he gets petrified, and Project Horizon unable to secure the center orb.
Randler's going to need to pick himself up, and I think he's going to be able to do so. Barrier's down in a big in-cap, but Fear onto the Freya is going to prevent any kind of follow-up on it, and a big snare onto Xanox. Needs to get back in, but again, somehow positioning-wise, Project Horizon come out on top. Oh, and they lose out the center orb again. 2-1-3, 2-1-3 has been doing so well securing those.
Oh, he used his ultimate, but getting petrified by Randler, who's been doing a good job of shutting his ultimate down. Barrier used by both Lucy's here. The health advantage is just massively in favor of Project Horizon at the moment, though, as they're starting to get pinched in this corner. Everybody's just funneling in, and Randler's just getting hacked away at by 2-1-3.
It feels like EasyBT is very desperate to get damage out. They're throwing a lot of cooldowns into scenarios where it's very risky, right? You're not guaranteed an actual hit, and the situation still has 2-1-3, 2-1-3 in the middle, kind of doing a lot of damage, and there's not really much that EasyBT has been doing to try to keep him off. And so overall, while they're trying to land connections on Blanks, Blanks is doing a good job juking away. Meanwhile, 2-1-3, 2-1-3 is just wailing away at the back line.
It's been doing a good job of shutting 2-1-3.
There it is. This is an opening that we're really liking.
In trouble.
Too late.
In a lot of trouble. Big clarity potion to push Blanks back in, but Randler goes down in the middle of it. Xanox desperately trying to finish off Lucy if he can, but it's going to be tough. He's got 2-1-3 all over him at the moment. Finished off as Project Horizon now taking a 2-1 lead.
So close yet so far, and it all comes down to kind of attacking smartly. You know, I think for the majority of the game, EasyBT was actually landing maybe half the skills that they were throwing out and did not really control 2-1-3, 2-1-3 that well. And so as they were trying to push onto Blanks and failing to do damage, they were taking significant damage on their own side. It wasn't until Randler was able to land a big Petrify on 2-1-3, 2-1-3 where they were able to finally isolate Blanks, and then Blanks made a small slip-up, got hit by the Feral, and finally got chucked down really, really low. But you really want to skip all the middle part of that and just get straight to the Freya ult, right? You don't want any of that in the middle.
Already
Again, we see the situation. I mean, look how low Xenox is getting already.
Yeah, just getting.
And now it's Randler. Just cannot keep up with the healing.
And a huge health advantage yet again off this. At least initially, it's surmountable. But I mean, it'll be tough to get back into it for sure. As pulling in Randler yet again, hitting that silence. Narrowly missing that right click on Xenox, who was really trying to apply that pressure to Blanks, and here they go, finally getting some damage in onto Blanks, removing some of that permanent health, getting the Petrifying to 2-on-3 as well. Oh, pulling him right back in, and here's the ultimate. Stunned in the middle of it, but still able to dish some damage. Ultimate from Freya, unable to connect onto Blanks. He was trying to hit it yet again. Oh, so much damage onto Freya here as well. As now he's quite hurt, and still a big health advantage for Project Horizon. Pulling in Xenox yet again, not biting on the counter either. Here comes the goo. The shield was used on the Xenox, but stuck back in the corner. 2-on-3, able to finish it off. And Randler now stuck 1v2. He will get finished off, and that is Project Horizon taking the first map in this best of 3.
It's really such an awkward scenario. Project Horizon is so good at gaining momentum.
Yeah.
You feel like you're swinging away at Project Horizon, but they're not taking any damage, and meanwhile you check your health and you're already down to 75% and you feel like nothing's even happened. And that really was the name of the game for Project Horizon there. Just in the opening moments of the match, Freya went in to try to do damage. In the end, both team members of Project Horizon still had max health, and they were still healing up. And then Xenox was down to 75. And then Xenox gets feared away, and then all of a sudden Randler's down to 75, and then that situation just keeps repeating itself where Project Horizon seems to never lose health, and meanwhile Xenox and Randler are having a tough time just even walking around the map, it seems.
Yeah, but we do have a replay from our first map there. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. It's from round 2.
EasyBT trying to finish up the kill on the Lucy. There's a late Swift roll. Is not going to avoid damage from the ultimate. A good clarity potion is going to push him back, but I think that key miss on the hammer for Xenox is going to prevent him from closing it out. I mean, look how close that is. When they have the static debuff on them, Freya will do a little bit of extra damage, and that could have been the damage that they needed to close it out.
Close but no cigar. But that is only the first map in the best of 3, so they will have another shot at it for sure, as both teams getting ready to go here, and we'll see if there's any comp changes. I'm quite curious. It's what I love to see in these best of 3s. So you know, we'll see if they decide, if Team Keepo EasyBT wants to change anything up. I know 2-1-3 and Blanks love that Rukon Lucy combo. I don't suspect that to go anywhere. They always use it quite well, but and as we look here, we got ourselves a little mirror matchup, folks. Got ourselves a little mirror matchup. Xenox going on the Rukon as well. I mean, I can't imagine them outplaying 2-1-3 and Blanks on this combo.
Yes, that is very true. But as much as I like Freya, I think Rukon is probably the better choice in this scenario. You want a little extra sustain. You want to make sure that you have space control, something that Freya doesn't have a lot of. I think it's just a little more stable choice, and at this point, you need to make sure you go with something that works.
Well, we'll see if they can beat Project Horizon at their own game. It'll certainly be a tough task, but it's worth a shot. They are down 1 map, and this is the winner of this match goes on to the grand finals to play Flower Power. So it's certainly an important map for both teams as Project Horizon tries to close it out, and Team Keepo EasyBT wants to stay in the tournament, son. So here we go. Right away.
Oh, misses a Shadow Bolt.
I know, man. It's a big miss. Pulling in.
Oh, this is actually an advantage for Xenox right now. And the barrier actually does get dispelled. How will we get the center orb? Oh, I think that was a mistake from EasyBT to try to go for damage rather than the center orb itself. And Project Horizon is going to take a little bit of lead for it.
And Xenox missing a lot of his shadow bolts, as now he uses ultimate. He's, oh my goodness, getting pulled in, getting chunked for quite a bit of damage here. 2-on-3 is just pulling him and landing the shadow bolt as well. And it gets petrified. In the middle of it, Blank's doing a good job of keeping himself sustained in the meantime and using the barrier on himself. 2-on-3 just turning, hitting that shadow bolt. And now the ultimate out yet again, but panicked in the middle of it, and deadly inject. They just cannot, I don't know. I do not see them beating Project Horizon at their own game, and the ultimate is out now for 2-1-3.
It's just so many little decisions between 2-1-3, 2-1-3, and Blanks that are just a little bit better here, a little bit better there, and then you get yourself into a situation where, again, look, I mean, they're at 90%, 100% health. Meanwhile, Xanox is below half, and Blanks is at 60%. It's just, you're not connecting big enough. BattleRekt is a game about timing and really a lot about burst, because unless you can push max health down many times, especially if there's a Lucy on the team, you're not actually making headway, right? You're not actually doing anything, and that's kind of the case for EasyBT. It might feel like they're doing something, but it's just not enough to really make anything permanent. And here's another big ultimate pop from 2-1-3, 2-1-3, and just consumes avoided, hooks landing, just spinning around.
He's honestly like just a gross player.
Yes.
2-1-3. Like you can see the differences, these little differences in mechanical skill, like with 2-1-3 and Xanox, especially now that they're both playing Rakan. You can just see the little things that make the difference here. 2-1-3 just hits so many of these skill shots. Xanox is missing, you know, I don't know what percentage, but he's definitely missing more of these shadow bolts, or, you know, these little things. 2-1-3 will whip around and totally change targets with his shadow bolts or his pulls. Just these little things, he's able to pump out more damage, does a better job of avoiding damage. 2-1-3 as well, using his space bar well, his consume at great times. Look at that, right there. As soon as, you know, he waited until that shadow bolt literally came out to use his consume. Just little things like that. And it's going to be really tough for Xanox to match it.
Got him with the pull. This is the big connection. Does land a shadow bolt on the back line of Lucy, and now Lucy needs to make the decision who to heal. Actually will win out the orb for EasyBT, and that might be the first step in a long journey to try to win it out, but still, he won the center orb, but no damage has been done yet, so there's no tangible advantage right now. It's all just theoretical. They could have an advantage if they play it out right, but we'll see. I mean, in this situation before, 2-1-3, 2-1-3, and Blanks always came out on top.
Such good management of that barrier from Blanks too, and all these getaway abilities. Here comes the goo as well. 2-1-3 gets petrified in the middle, now taking some damage. Able to consume that shadow bolt, and here comes the ultimate, getting the barrier just in time for it as well, so he could avoid the CC for a little while, and was able to pressure Randler all the way back into the corner. Center orb is up. 2-1-3, not concerned about it though. He could secure if he wanted to. It's very close to going down, but
nice. I like that Xanox canceled his shadow bolt and went for positioning to stop Blanks from taking the center orb. That's a small win for them, but again, we see a situation where they're just falling behind in health.
Now, Xanox just getting pounded away at. The barrier's gonna have to go down on him. And the ultimate is up yet again for 2-1-3 here as he starts hacking away, gets silenced, and pulls him back in. The goo is out yet again, was unable to connect with that onto anybody.
Oh no. And Xanox is trying to go on Blanks while 2-1-3, 2-1-3. Nice juke from Randler, but he gets pulled right back in and silenced. Has to put up his barrier now. And I think the health level is just does not favor this race. And meanwhile, Xanox himself getting incredibly low. Randler is going to have to spend heals on him.
Oh my goodness, a lot of damage on the Blanks. Pulling him back into the goo and hitting shots left and right, but still, I don't know if it's going to be enough. They've actually managed to even up the health pool a lot more and actually secure that orb, which is huge for them. Here comes the ultimate out from Xanox, gets panicked in the middle of it though. And 2-1-3 also was sent outside of the map. He actually may go down here. Xanox hammering away. Here comes the goo as well. 2-1-3. Oh, goodness, he is hanging on just barely. Really needs some heals. Randler also extremely hurt here. The right click from 2 and 3 finishes off Randler. Xanox has got to go huge, using his ultimate, pumping out that damage on the Blanks. Barrier finally going down, and he gets finished off as 2 on 3.
God,
Dashes into him so close.
You can't. You have to be able to close it out. You were in such a good spot. You forced 2-1-3 to use his R ability to get back into the map. You know that his mobility is down. He had to spend EX bar as well, so you have the advantage in that scenario. But then they just could not justify piling onto 2-1-3 and get past Blanks to take him out. 2-1-3 was at a singular point of health at that point in time. Anything would have taken him down. And they couldn't close it out. They couldn't coordinate and find the strategy and the way to play out that scenario, even if it was just a panic flask, sending 2-1-3 into the dead zone one more time.
Yeah, that was a big opportunity lost for Team Keepo EasyBT. I mean, as you said, he's literally 1 health. All they needed to do was just breathe on him. Like, just a breath in his general direction would have finished him off, but...
Oh, good clarity potion is going to save a lot of damage, but Randler is taking a lot on his own. He needs to make sure he's aware of 2-1-3 channeling that Shadow Bolt. But 2-1-3 about to take a lot of damage right now. Ult is being popped by Xanox, and that might be at a good spot, but he actually doesn't dodge. 2-1-3 did lose a good amount of max health, though, and this is what we're talking about. This is what EasyBT needs to do. And now putting on pressure onto Randler, and so Blanks, and so Blanks is going to need to make a decision. Either heal 2-1-3 or lose max health on himself, and that's where can't miss those.
I know, you really got to connect on that. I mean, still, his max health being taken down quite a bit, but those are the Shadow Bolts you got to hit.
Yes.
For sure. But a health advantage, well, it's just about even here.
Nice, good positioning from Randler is going to avoid a lot of damage here. Toxic Goo, actually, nice clarity potion, and now he's going to move it onto 2-1-3. Blanks only has 1 healing potion left, but here comes a big counter Goo for Blanks.
A big counter Goo indeed. Goo everywhere. Oh, the flick from 2-1-3, man, onto Randler. That Shadow Bolt. Yeah, he gets petrified now as Xanox wants to try and hone in onto Blanks. 2-1-3 hitting yet another Shadow Bolt onto Randler, and now he wants to go in and pump this damage onto Xanox as he's going to use his ultimate, but it may be a bit too late. Actually, he's able to pump out quite a bit of damage onto Blanks here, who rolls away, but no, Randler is able to get away from it. And Project Horizon looking good to make it to the grand finals. Just need to finish off Xanox. And there it is.
I could almost feel the desperation from Xanox as he tried to throw damage onto Blanks, and I think he tried just way too hard playing into the hands of Blanks. A player like Blanks will juke you every single time if you're just trying to go in without measuring your shots. You know, he will detect that desperation and play on it. And I think Xanox threw out the Shadow Bolt, missed, threw out the Claw, missed, and then popped his ultimate in the scenario and then prevented himself from being able to save Randler, and then 2-1-3 counter-ulted, and I think they were doing really, really well for the first half of the match, but just that late game decision making, it's just not adding up.
Yeah, man, they so could have had 2-1-3 on that one round as they were heading into sudden death. And let's go ahead and take a look at a replay here.
One of the most exciting points in the match, 2-1-3 nearly gets taken down. I mean, look at that health level right now. Literally at 1 point of health, and the whiff from Randler. And you see how Randler's trying to assist right now. You see how he's trying to assist fighting Blanks instead of 2-1-3. It's really just in the clutch moment, need to get your strategy together and figure out what the right way to play out the scenario is. And I think Xanox and Randler was just put on notice, right? Tough team to go up against, because it feels like Project Horizon will always make the right decisions and you will always make the wrong ones. I understand, right? But trust me, there is a way. There is a way, and it was there, right? The right decisions were laid out in front of you, just happened not to take them.
He had the opportunity. In that situation, Xanox he totally needed to shift his focus into killing 2-1-3, but he was, and I get it, because I've done this. You know, you just get tunnel visioned, and he just really wanted to hunt down Blanks, and he tunnel visioned on trying to kill Blanks, but all he needed to do was just shift his focus 2-3 for a second, finish him off, boom, and then they can go for blanks. But nonetheless, that you know, is going to be Project Horizon. Moving into the finals, let's check out the bracket. It is Flower Power against Project Horizon, Winghaven and Sizen against 2-on-3 and blanks, with all the prize monies on the line.
$200. I mean, both of these teams have made at least $100 already, right?
Right.
Flower Power and Project Horizon, one of them is going to be second, but one of them is going to be first. And if recent trends show that Project Horizon is probably going to be the ones to take first place, but maybe Flower Power has enough to make it happen. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I think that Project Horizon has so many things going for them in terms of strategic, like not even mechanically, they're playing great, right? They always play great mechanically, and that's definitely a boon. But right now, I'm also seeing strategically and just decision-making wise, just so many situations where the center orb is called into question, or positioning is called into question, or clutch moments, right? Like we just saw in that replay, where the decision-making just doesn't seem to be quite optimal for the other team, while Project Horizon is always making the better choices in that case.
Yeah, the decision-making of Project Horizon is just, I mean, on a different level than most teams out there. It's actually incredible to watch some of the things that 2-on-3 and blanks do playing together. It's actually quite fascinating. But you know, they'll be going for the finals here. It should be a good game between these two teams. But guys, if you've enjoyed what you've seen thus far and you want to participate yourself, head over to BattleRekt.com. You can get involved in our upcoming tournaments. We have NA 2v2 later today. We also do some 3v3 stuff. So come check us out. Get involved. You can play. Maybe we'll end up casting you one day. You know, it's lots of good fun. We have fun with it.
We do have a ton of fun, and so does Project Horizon and Flower Power.
At least I hope they.
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope
maybe they're just like yelling at each other.
Maybe they hate this, but they're like, it's money.
Breaking keyboards.
Yeah. Sounds like me.
Yeah.
But anyway, speaking of those guys, let's check them out. We're heading into game for our grand finals of BattleRekt EU 2v2s. It's Flower Power against Project Horizon. It's a best of 3 maps this time. A little bit different. It's a best of 9 rounds in the finals, aka win score of 5.
Win score 5.
A little bit longer, a little more, you know, arduous of a game. It'll be a grind.
It'll be a grind. We'll see if Winghaven and Sizen can be the ones to take down the champions right now. Good use of the right click, but using Black Arrow straight in. Needs to be careful not to get pulled just like that. No, Winghaven played right into the hands. Sizen is trying to do his best to heal up Winghaven, but already max health lost. Good use. Actually, the fear got reflected back into Blanks, and Blanks panicked himself, and Winghaven and Sizen will actually win the center orbit. They're taking a big lead in the first moments of the game. Big plays from Sizen. Fantastic use of his bubble.
A lot of damage on a 2-on-3. There was nothing else for him when he was caught inside of that bear trap. There was nothing to keep him alive other than just as much heals as possible. Man, 2-on-3 is getting rocked right now as Winghaven and Sizen have just been pounding him. And now Blanks has got a, here comes, oh my goodness,
Make
what
me a poster.
shot. Let's go, Winghaven. The prediction.
Add one more, Rukon. He's got one in the living room, and now he's got one in the bathroom.
Oh man, he's got posters of these guys all over the place. That is beautiful.
My God. I love the patience from Winghaven, and they do win out that center orb. I love that patience. Waited until the very last moment to release the Dragon Slayer. By the way, it's not Dragonberry, it's Dragon Slayer. It's the Dragon Slayer.
Is that the actual name of the ultimate?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's the,
the Dragon Slayer.
Jumong is a dirty PvE Dragon Slayer.
Filthy
nerd.
PvE-er.
But he transferred that skill set and applied it to PvP because Winghaven just dunked 2-on-3, 2-on-3. And it wasn't just the ultimate, it was all game long. Sizen and Winghaven were playing so well, pushing Blanks' Panic Flash back into his face, earned them a lot of ground, won them center orb as well, and comboing with the Incapacitate and the ground AoE that roots up from Sizen. They played that situation out so well and won that round.
So that's Flower Power taking the big 1-0 lead giving it to Project Horizon here off the start. So right away, panic, and then pulled right back in, gets Seeker's Mark, and in-capped a lot of damage.
Barrier's up, but Consume was spent at the same time, and I think 2-on-3, 2-on-3 is going to be feeling a little bit awkward without cooldown, so he's going to R away, and Center Orb is up for grabs, and I think he's going to try to pull it. Oh! Nice use of the bubble. Sizen was waiting for that, and that's kind of the risk going up against an Uldur. It's different. Lucy doesn't have that capability, but Uldur does. He has that space control, and that's coming in big for Flower Power.
Good job from 2-on-3. Even though that Chrono Flux was up, he was able to use his own Consume as soon as he knew it was coming right back at him, just to make sure he avoided the damage. It's good
tries
foresight.
to trade, but Jumong will win that every single time because Black Arrow is so good.
And
Nice, puts the bubble down, tries to stop the Shadow Bolt from taking out the orb, but there's only just a point of health on it. They're going to lose it out, but here comes the ultimate!
Oh man, again, he walked right into it. Winghaven connecting with some huge ults.
He wasn't able to charge it up, so wasn't able to get a ton of damage on it, but I think the big win for Flower Power here is trying to secure the next center orb, and if they can do that, they can actually secure a kill on either of the players. Watch out for that pool, and Sizen is waiting for that. And Project Horizon does get that, so they're going to buy themselves a little bit more space in this game, and 2-on-3, 2-on-3 is going to need to look to make big moves to come back, and look at how much chip damage they're taking. Nice dodge of the Panic Flask, and again, they find themselves in this awkward spot. Blanks has no healing flask left, and there's still health missing on 2-on-3, 2-on-3's health bar. They're going in aggressive.
Oh, 2-on-3.
Watch out!
So hurt in the back there.
Oh, the Rain of Arrows!
Nothing, he needs some heals. He was able to hit his silence.
Somebody get this man a medic!
Oh, he got the barrier. No medic home. And trying for the goo, but there's no way. Blanks is coming back here. Flower Power starting this game off very strong.
Wow.
2-0.
I think that not only do we have the benefit of Jumong being a ranged character that has good escape options, but Uldur being this space controlling character, able to win out these center orb fights and change the decision-making game for Project Horizon. It's not as simple anymore as a mirror match, right? There's new tools available in this matchup that you have to consider, and Sizen is playing them really well. Obviously very practiced on Uldur.
Yeah, he's been having some great Chrono Fluxes. Normally, orb control is something Project Horizon does very well at, but as you were saying, they're struggling in this game for sure. And already Blanks is under a lot of pressure. And 2-on-3 coming to his aid as the orb is now up. And, oh man, using a lot to try and get that. Looks like Blanks is...
Wow.
Oh, was that secured by...
Yes, Jumong was able to snap that out with his left button. 14 health left, but the left button does 16. And Winghaven secures that orb for Flower Power. And again, they find themselves in a spot where they're actually in the advantage.
Some good bursts on the sides in there. Is just left clicking away is Blanks.
The center orb is up again.
Let's see.
Oh, and Project Horizon will get that. Sizen was trying to wait on his Chrono Flux.
Now 2-on-3 is starting to go and gets in cap though, pulling him back. Here comes an ultimate, gets shut down in the middle of it. The Shadow
That's a big
Bolt
tell.
hits.
They know that the ultimate is available now, and Winghaven gonna try to do that again, but whiffs actually. Gets
the goo.
Seeker's Mark on both characters and actually trying to stun up the Jumong, or rather the Rukon and the Zolt, and they're actually gonna get away. And so the resource trade is gonna both be inefficient for Flower Power and Project Horizon.
Starting to, actually, I was gonna say turn the tides in the round, but they're just about even on health.
Yes.
So,
both Winghaven and Sizen losing a little bit. Meanwhile, Blanks is very healthy, but Sizen is going to look to change that up. Meanwhile, watch 2-1-3, 2-1-3 just getting dunked on by Jumong, and Jumong is just hopping back and forth, doing so much damage with each application of Black Arrow. It's so hard to go toe-to-toe, and he couldn't close it out.
Oh, the Rain of Arrows able to finish him. Man, that is rough. 2-1-3 is really having a tough time in this game, man. They're just
He might pull out the
him.
Baco at this point, and I think I would not doubt him for that, because it just seems so tough after the Consume is down. It's very difficult to match a Jumong that is getting your weapon charges. Look at him, just disgusting.
He's a disgusting man. That's a thing. They're doing such a good job of playing around 2-1-3's
look at that
cooldowns.
Blanks on his protection score. So much healing, but it does not matter because Winghaven is just consistently winning out these fight scenarios between 2-1-3, 2-1-3, and himself.
Yep.
And it's not even necessarily, I don't feel like it's necessarily a super big outplay or a super big dunk. Winghaven is definitely playing better, but also the matchup hurts a lot.
Yeah, they're doing a great job of playing around his consume, and Winghaven's been doing a good job. Actually, both him and Sizen have been doing a good job of avoiding just a lot of the 2-1-3 damage, whether it be his shadow bolts or what have you. They've been able to avoid a lot. But here we go. Center Orb will be up. Flower Power with a 3-0 lead in the first map.
They're getting pushed out of the middle, and so Center Orb is going to go to Project Horizon, and Winghaven actually pushed in aggressively, and he could get pulled in and take a lot of damage for it. They need to be very careful because health is not necessarily in their advantage. Winghaven has built a lot of meter, however, because he's been making sure to get a ton of damage. Uldor is lagging a little bit behind, and 2-1-3, 2-1-3 himself has spent a lot. There it is, Winghaven spending a lot of his meter just trying to chip out damage onto Blanks. Orb is up again. A whiff from 2-1-3, 2-1-3, and that's going to be big. Avoids the panic flash, but Winghaven needs to be careful. He's spending a lot of cooldowns in the neutral game and could get capitalized on like this. Here comes the Toxic Goomba. Uldor has in his pocket the answer. Gets panicked off the Uldor ult, but 2-1-3, 2-1-3 is taking the bad end of that exchange.
And barrier's going to be used by Blanks. Winghaven and Sizen just sitting in the middle here. Center Orb will be up yet again.
Has to use his mobility to try to get out of that AoE from Sizen, but Project Horizon will still win the middle orb, and that's going to be a little bit of consolation for them. Petrified up, guts Sizen out of the goo, and actually Jumong takes a lot of burst from that panic into the Shadow Bolt, but still, I think they're going to be able to restabilize and heal up, and maybe even get the Center Orb. No, Project Horizon is going to win a big one, and that's the one that's really turning the tide into Project Horizon's favor, and they're seeming to come into their own, and they're playing that decision-making game that has been so good for them, especially in the semifinals.
Oh, big roll from Blanks to avoid that ultimate as well, but 2-1-3 still taking the damage here.
They lost a lot of position for it.
They had bad management of barrier.
Oh, it's awkward. It's so awkward. That orb was moving around like a basketball.
It was all over the place, and now
2-1-3, 2-1-3. He's taking a lot of damage.
Shadow bolts. He's got to be careful, but the arena is closing in now. Things are about to get interesting. Here we go. The goo coming out yet again. Winghaven caught in the middle of it, as well as Sizen. Winghaven's taking so much damage here. And Rukan finally able to finish him off. 2-1-3, and that Center Orb gets eaten up as well. Sizen's got to go huge. Gets panicked out of the map, though. He's got to get back in quick. Has to use his space in. 2-1-3 pulling him and using the ultimate on himself. Look at that avoid from 2-1-3 as well. Getting the iframe off the spacebar. Able to finish off Sizen. And there we go. Project Horizon getting around on the board.
Project Horizon doing so much better. And one of the things that we identified is you have to play a different game now. Uldor makes it very awkward to try to grab that Center Orb, and we saw Project Horizon taking, I think, 4 out of 5 of them, something like that. They took the grand majority of the orbs in that match, and they just played it slow. They didn't feel like they needed to go aggressive, and when Winghaven decided to press and use cooldowns to try to make something happen, 2-1-3, 2-1-3 had the health to survive and then make the counter hit successful.
3-1 it is. Pulling in Winghaven right away. Good consume to get his silence back, and he's just going to press on to Sizen.
Spend his R to try to gap close. Immaterial is gone from Jumong as well.
He's all over Winghaven right now. He's taking quite a bit of damage.
Nice. Good use of the Chrono Flux is going to allow Flower Power to get that orb and kind of sustain themselves a little longer in this match, but they need to make something big happen soon, or else Winghaven will be securely in a bad spot.
And missing that pull just barely.
Good on Jumong to get that third charge on his weapon. That's going to allow him a little bit of safety. Hits a little bit with an ult onto 2-1-3, 2-1-3, but just the shortest amount of charge possible. Good jump in from 2-1-3, 2-1-3 is going to regain the second orb, and Winghaven really needed that to try to build his way back into this game. The opener was such a big thing for Project Horizon, and now they're trying to pay back their bills.
Shut down. Right in the middle of his ultimate. Winghaven lining up. Good consume from 2-1-3. Able to get his silence back, and Blanks has an ultimate here. Oh, but health on
the
the orb.
Clarity Potion almost lost it for Project Horizon, but Blanks will be able to secure it, and a good pull-in on a Jumong is going to allow Project Horizon to push it aggressively. Second charge on a Black Arrow being used.
Oh, good pull right back into the goo. Winghaven taken down. Rukon jumping right in the middle of it, pulls him back in and said, you're not going anywhere. And now it's Sizen 1v2. Oh, he knows. He's not even going to try.
Don't try to play peekaboo with 2-1-3, 2-1-3, because he will find you.
Oh, yes.
And he will shut you down.
He is the boogeyman.
He is the boogeyman.
He will find you, suck you right back into the goo. And
that's gross.
That is actually pretty disgusting.
That's disgusting.
Project Horizon, though, 2 straight rounds back. And it's Flower Power. They still have that 3-2 lead, but I think Project Horizon's starting to find their rhythm.
Yes.
Learning, figuring out how to play against this Jumong and Uldor comp.
Yeah, I think they're finding a lot more openings onto Winghaven. For example, a grab here on Jumong is going to be big. 2-1-3, 2-1-3. Actually, opts to try to spend it on Sizen, and that's going to win them. Oh, and the Chrono Flux as well. This is a big opening for Flower Power, and they are just dunking onto 2-1-3, 2-1-3. So much damage in health done already. 2-1-3, 2-1-3 down to half, and they lost the center orb. Winghaven and Sizen should be looking to press their advantage more, but before this orb spawns. Or they can opt to spend their resource. He's going to spend the ultimate here. The orb is up, gets petrified in the center, and Sizen might be looking to make a push into the center to help them secure that.
That's a huge Chrono Flux.
Watch out!
That
2-1-3, 2-1-3.
Oh man, he's so hurt. He has to use his R to get out, and has to take the barrier as well to avoid the rain of arrows. But man, that was a big Chrono Flux. It just shoved the Shadow Bolt right back into his face.
Side to side is so important for 2-1-3, 2-1-3 right now. He mitigated a lot of damage, and it might have been just a little bit too aggressive for Flower Power, and I think they might have just allowed Project Horizon an opportunity to buy back into this game. No, a big whiff on Project Horizon on that next orb, and that puts them again in a risky spot. They have to wait a long time before they can gain back any max health, and in that time, I mean, the Dragon Slayer is almost up again for Winghaven, and that might just be the one they need to close it out. They might actually just spend it on this next orb coming up.
Blanks has got the goo. Ready to go. Pulling it in. Chrono Flux was positioned just a bit too late on the side of Sizen. So Project Horizon is at least able to get the orb. They both have their ultimates. Winghaven's got that. Dragon Slayer is too. Gets the Petrify off. There's going to be a lot of Deadly Inject on him as well. Try and get that extra damage.
What's really troublesome right now for Project Horizon is they are in the worst spot they could be in against a Jumong Uldor. Having to stay at range, the Dragon Slayer is used, but I don't think they even won that orb. I think Flower Power just went a little bit too eager. They should have just played their good neutral game and kept with their strategy rather than trying to spend extra resources to do something that maybe could have worked. But still in this bad spot, finally does 2-1-3, 2-1-3 decide to go a little bit more aggressive, and he's pushing in as the map is closing out. There's less space to kite, and that might actually favor Winghaven and Sizen, because now the AoEs are much more dangerous. Petrified on his ultimate pop, and Uldor, Dragon Slayer is
here comes the
available.
goo! Winghaven taken down! Oh my goodness, it's now a 1 versus 2. Sizen's got a lot of health to work with, but that arena's closing rather quickly, getting panicked out. It was actually shut down with that, the shield, the shifting sand from Sizen. Here we go. It's just a 1v2 yet. The orb is up as well, getting silence. Is going to use his ultimate, landing right back in there, but there's just too much.
That Project Horizon magic.
Whoo, baby. Oh, man, they were behind that whole round. Behind that whole round, and they managed to get themselves back in it. Huge goo from Blanks, finishing off Winghaven. And
I think that Winghaven and Sizen were reluctant to give away their optimal positioning, which you can't really blame them for. But at the same time, you just let Project Horizon take 3 orbs in a row, one of which you spent a whole ultimate on and still lost. You need to push it aggressively at some point. I mean, there's a reason why 2-1-3, 2-1-3 and Blanks were playing so back for most of the match. Make something happen. Use your health points as a resource, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And already off the start of this round, Project Horizon in the health lead. And you can tell they're feeling it now. I can even see a difference just in 2-1-3 with his play. He seems to be feeling it a bit more here.
He's going in, and he has the opportunity to go aggressive. He wasn't chunked down low as in the first match, and so he actually has health to spend to gain space. But now he actually is taking a lot of damage. The Dispel comes out from Blanks, but still already a lot of damage done. The big thing to win right now, if this goes on, is a center orb, because there's not going to be time for another one.
Ooh, a good play on shields there, just shoving stuff back and forth at each other. The ink cap is out. Winghaven is definitely a bit weak here. A lot of damage on 2 Blanks, and here comes the Uldor ultimate as well, trying to land in. He will be able to onto Blanks, and the ultimate
No
from
EX for the
2-1-3
Petrify
as well. Able to deal quite a bit of damage. Silence in the middle of his ultimate was Winghaven. Oh, great consume from 2-1-3. Jumon goes down now.
Seemed a little bit desperate, and I think that's exactly what that was.
Yep, it was. He's just trying to get that extra damage if he could, but smacked in the face. Oh.
I think the lessons learned were the wrong lessons for Flower Power. In that match, they really, or rather in that round, they really tried to go more aggressive, specifically onto Blanks, even using the Uldor ult to initiate onto Blanks in the back line. And I think they were doing fairly well for the most part, but they ended up losing out the exchanges after a longer period of time, ended up having the Jumon without cooldowns because he was trying to put pressure onto Lucy, and 2-1-3 was able to just put him into that scenario where he had to shoot his ultimate into the consume. I think that Winghaven and Sizen need to look for moments of opportunity a little bit better. You can't be too aggressive, you can't be too passive. It's a balance. It's a good, happy medium. They need to believe that that's a situation that they can build for themselves and that they can get to that point, but I don't know if they're capable of making that adjustment in the middle of the match.
Yeah, they've definitely been having trouble the past few rounds. They've been close though, so it's now map point for Project Horizon. Just need one more already. 2-1-3, taking some damage, but Winghaven getting pounded on himself. So much damage off onto Winghaven. He can't get away from it. Guy can't catch a break. There it is. Blanks finishes him off, and now it's a 1v2. Sizen left to go at it yet again.
And that's what we're talking about in terms of aggressive positioning, right? Jumon was using all sorts of cooldowns, using his immaterial and letting himself come out in between both players on Project Horizon's side, using his Black Arrow but not getting distance towards his Uldor, rather still staying in enemy territory. Meanwhile, Sizen made the decision to try to take the center orb, and in that moment of opportunity, Project Horizon came in big, did a ton of damage, and ultimately took down Jumon from 100 to 0. And again, Project Horizon starts out slow, but seems to figure out the matchup and then start making the right decisions afterwards. Somebody stop this team.
Yeah,
Somebody
seriously.
just stop them.
I know.
Right?
Come on.
There are ways to beat them. You can beat them. You just need to make sure that you're making the right decisions all the time and identifying the situation clearly. The mechanics are great, fantastic, but I trust you. These players at the top levels, your mechanics are not going to be the thing that makes the difference. It's your decision making, and ultimately, 2-1-3 hits some sick stuff. But that doesn't matter if you're playing strategically well, and that's what I would really like to see from these teams, is shaping up their strategy.
Yeah, and we'll see if they can get themselves in line going into the second map, because, well, they only have one more shot at this. It is a best of 3, you know, so definitely have the potential. It's best of 9 rounds as well throughout these best of 3s. But man, that was 5 unanswered rounds.
Let's take a look at a replay of that match that we just saw, and just take a look at this overtime situation. Blanks coming out with a big goo drop right there, and look how low 2-1-3 is, and this was the first of the comeback that Project Horizon built for themselves. Look how much Jumon has to stay in that goo. The pullback was so instrumental for Project Horizon. Synergy between Blanks and 2-1-3 coming in big there.
Yeah, they do that combo so well. Goo comes out, 2-1-3 puts himself in the middle of the goo, pulls someone right back in. And we've seen them do that time and time again across all the various weeks of BattleRekt. They pull it off great. They've really perfected this combo of the Lucy Rakan. So I would imagine they're probably going to stay on that comp, you know, going into our second map. The question is, will Winghaven and Sizen switch it up? I mean, you know, I guess only they can answer that, but it seemed like 2-1-3 and Blanks really I mean, they figured him out. It took them 3 rounds, but they figured him out. They realized what they needed to do to play against them. And to me, for Winghaven and Sizen, I don't know. I feel like it may require some sort of a switch, unless they can just get, I don't know, their strategy in line.
It's difficult, right? Decision making and strategy is always there. Yeah, I think that they have what it takes to take it home. They won 3, of course, but then they did not win a single one after that. I think that Flower Power has what it takes. They just need to be confident in what they can do well, right? What was working for you in the first 3 rounds, and they need to be accurate in their analysis of what didn't work in the last few rounds.
Exactly.
Right? They need to understand that, okay, there are moments of passivity. When does that benefit us? When does it benefit us to go aggressive? It's not as clear as one or the other, right? The game is deeper than that. It's not just, okay, it didn't work going aggressive, so we're just going to go full passive now, or okay, it didn't work going passive, so we're just going to go full aggressive. No. I'm sorry, that's not going to win you the match.
We'll have to see, as they're heading into the second map right now, and they are staying on that same comp, both teams. But Flower Power not deciding to switch anything up, just keeping that Jumong Uldor. See if they can get themselves cooking again as they were in the first 3 rounds of the first map. And here we go, $200 on the line. 200 for first, 100 for second. 100 difference between these 2 teams now as 2-1-3 starts to go aggressive on the Winghaven yet again. Gets the silence, pulls him back in. We'll just continue to slash away with those left clicks, finally going in material to try and avoid it, but 2-1-3 getting himself out of there. He wants to go and secure that center orb.
Center orb going to Project Horizon, and again, I think we see Winghaven using Black Arrow and pushing himself closer to 2-1-3 in a neutral situation, and there's no really need to do that. Make sure you're using your Black Arrows, and if anything, move laterally, right? Don't move towards the Rukon. And lost a lot of health in that exchange, and they're going to lose another center orb.
Yeah, it's keeping himself distant. Oh, man, just not enough distance to avoid those pulls, though. And here we go, using the ultimate and the goo as well. Not able to keep anybody inside of it. Can he pull Uldor into it? Not quite. But actually getting Winghaven into it right at the end, and here comes the Uldor ultimate as well. Unable to connect with anyone, just keeping himself out of danger, at least.
3 for 3 on the orbs is Project Horizon, and the health levels are not looking good for him. Tries to use the ultimate, will get blanks, but does not pin him against a wall. And I think this situation is still looking bad. Uldor is actually going to provide a little bit of a barrier for Winghaven. They're going to be able to shoot back a little bit, but how are they going to win the center orb?
Yeah, it looks, I mean, 2-1-3, yeah, able to secure it yet again. Blanks has got the goo up again, and 2-1-3 almost has his as well. He comes right into the middle of it, pulls Winghaven in yet again. What a combo. They've done it yet again. And now it's Sizen 1v2. And
gooey
not
pulley.
looking good. The gooey pulley. I like it.
I think that it's tough, right? I think they've abandoned the strategy that they felt was working for them, and they're now playing into Project Horizon's hand. They're spending a lot of time running around in circles and spending their cooldowns in a way that is too conservative. And I think that when 2-1-3 sees you using cooldowns like your Black Arrow and your Immaterial and still in a position where they can punish you, both Blanks and 2-1-3, I mean, that's exactly what happened to Jumong there, right? Just pushed him out of the cooldowns, made the situation very awkward, and then landed the pull, and Jumong now is in this scenario where he still has to deal with the toxic goo. Just tough. I think Flower Power really needs kind of a reset to have a chance to win this.
Yeah, man, I don't know. I honestly can't pinpoint what it was in the first 3 rounds of that first map. I mean, what was different about then and now, but they gotta find the secret sauce here or something, because they are having quite a bit of trouble. So either way, Blanks rolling away. I hear some people saying the problem may be a bit of a tilt from Winghaven. That could be the issue.
It's
sure.
definitely
That'll
very
do
frustrating.
it. Yeah.
Right? You've tried. I mean, it feel in a best of 9, right? There's so many rounds for you to try. You were up 3-0 and you tried so many different things, but none of it felt like it worked. And I think that's really the big tragedy here. And here comes the Boogeyman, closing the gap and trying to make something happen. And again, I think Flower Power finds themselves in a situation where they feel like they're going to have to kite away, still being put in the Toxic Goo, and no amount of cooldowns can seem to save Jubon from that combination of Rukon Lucy.
Oh man, that goo combo has just been destroying Winghaven. Like, he's got to be fuming at this point, man. I know I would be at least. Oh, that is just as frustrating as it gets. And there we go. Another round to Project Horizon, man. If Winghaven and Sizen don't break up this momentum, and soon, it is just going to be, they're done.
It might already be too far gone for them. It's so heartbreaking to watch because I feel like Winghaven and Sizen are players that can do it, right?
Absolutely.
They have the tools to be able to do it. It's just oftentimes when you play at this level, in any competitive game at all, it becomes a match against yourself, right? You end up having to fight your own mentality and then also your ability to accurately assess the situation. And I think it's tough right now at the stage Winghaven and Sizen are at to make sure they're understanding what their advantage really is. Already spending all his cooldowns Winghaven is, and so he's going to have to play very passive. And I think Project Horizon tried to capitalize, but there was a spot of good positioning for Flower Power is going to buy them out of that situation. I would like to see more of that. Play your positioning better. Challenge these center orbs. They didn't happen to get it that time, but I think that they need to make plays for it. They need to understand what 2-1-3, 2-1-3 and blanks are doing time and time again to try to secure that orb and try to counterplay it. If you can't get the orb, start piling damage into the opponents as they're trying to pick up the orb.
Oh, Winghaven is just getting pummeled right now. There's nothing he can do to catch a break. He needs heals from Sizen, and he needs them badly. Getting the Petrify, at least, onto 2-1-3 to keep him at bay a little bit longer, but one more good pull could finish off Winghaven.
That's the way to do it, to use the Petrify onto the Rukon and allow you the opportunity to get the center orb.
He's trying to fake him with the claw. Right now lands that right click. If he can get one more. Oh, he is quite hurt at the moment. Blank's able to secure that orb as well. 2-1-3, he's got the ult. He's going to go for it. Ooh, that Chrono Flux placed beautifully, though. Trying to pull Winghaven back in. He is very hurt. The right click finally connects, though, to finish him off. And it is Sizen 1v2 yet again. Seen it time and time again in this match. Getting put in there into this situation. But Winghaven is just, he's having a tough time. I mean, 2-1-3 is really taking it to him.
It seems like Project Horizon is well positioned to make yet another crowning.
Yeah.
First place.
It's
again.
These guys are top tier. You know, I think it's hard to argue against them.
They are definitely
the best
top
team
of BattleRekt right now.
Yeah, I can't imagine anyone saying that, you know, someone else can, you know, beat these guys, you know, over half the time. You know, they're just so good. But, you know, it's not over yet for Flower Power. I mean,
it's not over till it's over.
Yeah, I mean, even though in theory it may be over, just because I don't think many of us are too hopeful for the comeback. Or I mean, we're hopeful for it, but you know, I don't think it'll actually happen.
Here comes center orb again. They've already lost the AoE, and again, Project Horizon seems to take that too easy.
It's getting it every time, and Sizen's got to use that Chrono Flux as much as possible. He's been trying to get those orbs, but
getting chased out actually, and 2-1-3, 2-1-3 finds himself in a spot where he has less cooldowns now. He's going to use the R to jump in, and again, Project Horizon will take the center orb. 2-1-3, 2-1-3 still has his pool, and he's going to use it here. Tries to go for the old door, but doesn't quite get the flick. And so Blanks is going to be left without resource, but Uldor took a lot of damage anyways.
Yeah, Sizen really taking it. As now the ult is up for Winghaven. He's got it, though you know that Jumong ult is really hard to use. And Dragon Slayer, now he's caught right in the middle of both of them, has Deadly Inject, he's getting swung at, and here comes 2-1-3's ultimate as well. Gets rooted though by Sizen. Actually, he's taking quite a bit of damage, almost connecting with the ultimate was Winghaven on the other side.
Both their ultimates actually.
Just sad, because that could have been huge if Winghaven connected there. But here There we go. They've actually managed to even things up quite a bit. Still a little bit of an advantage for Project Horizon, but not out of it by any means. It's Flower Power. Now is, oh, that's a big Shadow Bolt pulling him back into the material just in time. Oh my goodness.
The Black Arrow, but there's no cooldowns left for Winghaven. He's going to have to wait until his immaterial comes back up and is having to juke now. Not good enough.
See ya.
Gonna move on to match point. They came close. They fought hard. They're really close to the answer, I feel like. They're very close. Flower Power is really close to the answer for fighting back against Project Horizon, making the win happen. And
they are. They just can't quite do it. I don't know what the formula is.
It was definitely, I mean, that was definitely a mechanical loss, right? Spending 2 ultimates, and maybe a little bit of decision making. You spend your Eldora ultimate as well as your Jumong ultimate at the same exact time, and you get dodged by 1 move. And so 1 move from 2-1-3, 2-1-3, 1 cooldown is going to allow him to avoid 2 full sticks of butter from Flower Power. That sucks, right?
Yeah.
You got to hit those. If you're going to spend them like that, hit them. Otherwise, try to set it up with CC, with Petrify, with Incap, something.
Already, Winghaven's getting run at off the start here. Goes in material, gets that in cap, and some good damage coming out from Sizen and Winghaven combined onto 2-1-3, pulling him back in though, getting that silence, and oh my goodness, Winghaven is just getting absolutely pounded right now. Getting the in cap, but that Clarity Potion was already up in the air, which is
they
beautiful.
still win the center orb.
Oh, here comes the goo yet again. Winghaven in so much trouble. He's incredibly low on health. Sizen's trying to keep his teammate healed up, but things are not looking good for Flower Power. Pulled in, silenced. See you later. And it is Sizen 1v2. And I think this may spell the end for Flower Power here. He's caught in between both of them. Gets the E at least.
Project Horizon again.
Man. Again.
Every single time, Project Horizon. Wake up in the morning, Project Horizon. Go to sleep at night, it's still Project Horizon. Fly across the country, dig a hole, live in the hole for 10 years, come out of the hole, it's still Project Horizon.
These guys are just unreal.
Turn on my phone, my starting screen is still just a picture of Project Horizon right there.
You didn't even put it there.
I didn't even put it there, it just was there.
Yep.
Google partners with Project Horizon to put them on the front page of every single website in the world.
Google knows. They've been hearing us talk for the past while, and Google just knows everything. You show up somewhere, and it's like, hey, here's the menu. You know, they know. That was great. I mean, Project Horizon winning yet another 2v2 EU BattleRekt tournament. These guys are just on a different level. Let's go ahead and take a look at a replay from the grand finals there.
Just look at how much damage Winghaven will take, and this is really kind of Winghaven trying to play aggressive, spending a lot of EX bar to try to push Blank's health low. But oh my god, the charge swings plus the Sinister Strike and Lucy getting deadly injections and whatnot, having to spend his immaterial, and look at his position afterwards. He's still really close to his opponents. I mean, he turned the corner on the wall, and that helps a little bit, but really, when you use that immaterial cooldown, you're not going to want to run back and forth between your opponents and then reappear in the middle of your opponents still, right? Because they're just going to turn around and be like, now we're going to kill you.
Yeah.
And especially when Lucy has Clarity Potion, you put Seeker's Mark on them, she throws a Clarity Potion, and you come out of immaterial and there's no Seeker's Mark anymore.
That Clarity Potion, man, it's something else. But let's go ahead and take a look at the bracket and see kind of what we went through throughout the day today. Of course, first we start off with Wombo Combo, Burning Sands, and Team Keepo, Easy BT, and X Black and Jolts, which are not actually the name that they call themselves. Good meme. But in the end, Project Horizon worked their way all the way through, taking Team Keepo, Easy BT, and then Flower Power in the end to win yet another 2v2 BattleRekt tournament. You guys, I think definitively now, I know we said this before, but I think definitively they have to be the best duo in the game. Telrosk is up there. I would say for sure they're definitely up there in the mix.
They had to face each other.
Yeah, and Project Horizon took it. And you know, they're very back and forth. They have close games. I think at the moment Project Horizon is just a little bit above them, I would say. So
they definitely want more tournaments.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they have indeed. So, you know, that certainly says something.
if that statement is disagreeable to you,
Yeah.
let us know at BattleRekt.
Yeah. At least
Tweet
more.
us.
Yeah. Tweet us. You know, yell at us. I don't know. Well, they want at least more BattleRekt tournaments.
Yes.
I don't know about all
All the other
tournaments
tournaments
combined.
that have ever existed in the globe.
Yeah. Maybe. You know, who knows? But if you've enjoyed anything you've seen thus far today and you would like to play yourself, you think you can compete and make it to the big stages, go ahead and go to BattleRekt.com. You can sign up there, click the links, get in on our tournaments. If you're an NA player, we got some 2v2 action later on today. Tournament starts at 6 p.m. Pacific time, so get in on that.
PST.
That's right, we'll be here. It's here. So, and if you're not playing, you want to come and watch, you can do that. Also, later this evening, tournament starts at 6, but the broadcast itself will be starting at 8 p.m. Pacific. So, you know, get in on the fun. We'll be back here, me and Rainey both, you know, yelling at stuff again as we do, just screaming
Just
at
yelling
ourselves.
and stuff.
Yeah, that's what we do. We're casters, just scream at stuff. But either way, guys, we do appreciate you tuning in with us today for the EU side of things. As I said, we'll be back here. We'll be back later today. So definitely be sure to tune in 8 p.m. Pacific tonight. Again, thank you guys for watching. We will see you later this evening. Have a good one. Until then, so long.